And that's the truth. The uncomfortable truth. Plug, get my book. This is what my book is all about. Uncomfortable truths that a lot of us have a hard time sitting with. Uncomfortable truths that a lot of us have a hard time accepting about ourselves because we are so committed to seeing ourselves in just one light that it becomes fragmented. We become fragmented when we look in the mirror, and once we become more and more aware of who we truly are, we start to have these insecurities heighten even more because we're like, oh man, I'm just starting to become aware of some of these some of my character, and how long have people been aware of this, and and why has no one told me about certain things that I'm starting to just now become aware of within myself? How long have I been acting this way and projecting it onto other people? How long have I been doing this? Oh my gosh, I feel so vulnerable. I feel so naked. I feel like I just don't even want to go outside anymore. I feel like I can't even hang around my friendship groups because I can tell how fake I'm being. I'm aware of the things that I'm saying that I don't even agree with. I'm aware of how I change my voice and act certain ways when I'm around certain people or men. I'm starting to become aware and I don't like it. I feel vulnerable. Does everyone know? Have I always been this fake? Has everyone, you start to really wake up to how these different versions and how much you're such a chameleon. You're such a chameleon around other groups of people because you're so desperately wanting to be chosen by all the different groups. And so you feel like you have to be all these different people that they want you to be. That is another form of jumping through hoops, not just for romantic relationships, but people jump through hoops when it comes to friendships. And they often are gravitating towards people that they see a similar pattern with mom and dad. So a lot of times we gravitate towards friendships who also play out similar patterns of abuse and trauma in childhood. And we try to correct the relationship with mom or dad through this other relationship. Or sometimes we gravitate towards people that we think are our proximity to them will make us better. Our proximity to them. And so that's why you see that sometimes you may gravitate towards people who are really, really conventionally beautiful, and you think, man, I really want to be friends with people like this. I really want to be friends with people who are conventionally beautiful, who maybe have this it factor to them, because you think that your proximity to them is going to make you feel something. But then when you really actually get to know the person, not that they're inherently a bad person, but you start to see that it's glorified, this pedestal that you put them on. And why do I really want to be close? And what is the reason? And what do we actually have in common aside from the fact that, they are beautiful, or whatever it is that I thought I needed, or whatever I didn't see within myself. There's so many reasons why we are attracted to certain people. We have to get real on our intent. We got to start getting honest about our intent, because some of us really have gotten so good at lying to ourselves that we believe the BS. For real. Some of us have gotten so good at lying to ourselves to make ourselves feel better about the choices that we're making that we actually believe this, that we believe, oh yeah, this is what I want, this is who I am, when that could be further from the truth. But you haven't done the time, taken the time to really sit with yourself, to really sit and understand who you really are on a complex level. You are very complex in a lot of ways. Whew. Take a deep breath in, roll it out. Oh, whew. Okay, let me put my sweater on. I got a little chilly. How are we feeling today, guys? How are we feeling? It's Monday. We started with a little bit of the sound healing and getting present with our body. How are we feeling? What's on our mind? What are we dealing with? Let's start to just put things out on the table instead of bottling stuff up all the time. That's what makes us anxious, when we don't feel like we can release some of the things. And some of us just need to be honest. Some of us would feel so much better if we were just honest with certain people in our lives and say, hey, you know what? I really can't stand when you do that. And I'm so tired of you calling me this. And I know you've done this my whole life, but I actually can't stand it. And the more and more aware I'm getting within myself, and the more and more that I'm starting to respect myself, the less I'm allowing people to disrespect me. And I know that it wasn't your intention, and I let it slide for years and years, but I'm letting you know now, I don't like when you call me that. I've never liked it. And so going forward, I would appreciate if you wouldn't call me that anymore. You know, that's what we have to do now. Just because you've always done it and people have gotten comfortable doesn't mean that you can't change. Doesn't mean that you can't course correct and say, hey, I thought I was okay with this, but I'm actually not. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to be different. But the reason why you want to stay stuck and the reason why you kind of want to stay small is because you know those changes mean that you're going to inevitably have to disconnect from certain people who are not ready to meet you where you're going. That's the truth. You don't want to. You want to stay on the frequency of certain people because you love them and you've been with them and you're used to them and you have an attachment to them. But elevation requires some separation. And you know that. And you know that you can't stay in the same circles and you know you can't stay close with the same people and still elevate with these new concepts, desires, and beliefs because some of these people don't even believe in you. And you know that your environment is so crucial to your growth. And so it's a detriment to your growth to be around people who you know don't really wholeheartedly believe in your dreams because you barely believe in your dreams right now. You are trying to get that confidence. So I definitely don't need people around me telling me what I can't do when I already think that I can't fucking do it. I need you to tell me what I can do when I don't believe. I need the environment to reflect me when I'm not seeing myself clearly. That's what I need. I don't need you to kick me when I'm down. I need you to pick me back up when I can't see, when I'm getting discouraged, when I'm starting to lose the vision. I need you to say, no, remember when we talked about this last week and you were so excited? No, no, no. You're just having a hard moment, Kristen. And I need you to have the moment, feel the feeling. And then I need you to get back up because you're so happy when you do the coaching and you're so happy when you make your music and you're just having a rough moment right now because things are not going exactly how you want in your timing and you're losing a little bit of patience. That's what it is. You're losing patience, which is making you lose a little bit of faith. And I understand that. I understand that because we are so tired of our circumstances. We are so tired of being in our positions. We are so tired of always struggling. We are so tired of surviving. We are so tired of paycheck to paycheck. We are so tired of not feeling good in our bodies. We are so tired of not having self-discipline. We are so tired of not having self-control. We are so tired of saying that we're going to do something and then 2 days later we fall off. You're tired of not having consistency within yourself. You are tired. You are. And that is exactly where you need to be in order to make the change. The frustration that you feel with yourself is exactly the catalyst to making the changes. I need you to get so fed up with yourself. I need you to be so tired of hearing yourself talk all the time with no action behind it that you actually get up off the couch today and do something because nothing is going to change with you sitting here complaining about how you can't stand your life. You have to do it while you're scared. You have to start making that plan. You got to start putting your content out there because that's the only way that you're going to start gaining traction and people are going to start noticing you so that you can start building a community that's going to support you. So when you create your art, you have people that want to actually buy your art. So therefore, when they buy your art, you will make money. And when you make enough money, you can quit the job. That's the step. That's the process. And you know it. You got to start right now. You think that you're going to wake up and then all of a sudden the business is just made and the money is flowing. No, the future is created in the present. So whatever you're doing in the present is creating your future. So are you sitting here doom scrolling, maladaptive coping, escaping? Okay, then you're going to be exactly where you are right now in the future. You already know this. And I'm not talking to you this way because I'm mad at you or I'm shaming you. I'm actually talking to myself. This is a message for all of us. But I'm talking in this way because you need to hear it in this way. There's certain times that I have to coach you and have to be a little more tender because I know that you're just now waking up and you just now are understanding. So it takes time. But the people that I'm connecting with right now have been in it. You're not new to the game. You've been in this journey and there's some level of depth that you've been scared to go in. There's some leap of faith that you've been scared to take. And at this point, it's just like beating a dead horse at this point. That's what it feels like. Saying the same thing, doing the same thing, but expecting different results. No, this is the chapter where you know you have to do something drastically different. And that drastic difference may be really working on that addiction. It may be really cutting down on the time that you're spending distracting yourself with people and empty sex and partying and TV and doom scrolling, becoming more aware when you say that you don't have the time, but you always have the time to waste time. Huh? Become aware of the fact that you always say that you don't have the time, but you somehow always have the time to waste time. That's true. Because that 1 hour of doom scrolling could have been 1 hour of writing your music. That 1 hour of doom scrolling could have been 1 hour of working on your poetry. That 1 hour of doom scrolling Could have been that 1 hour that you're researching how to get the right equipment so that you can start producing music at home in your closet. Because those are the things that have been on your mind for months, years, decades. When do you finally stop and look in the mirror and say the person who is stopping you is you? When are you going to understand that getting to your goals and reaching your desires and making your life better and reaching the things that you want to do is going to require sacrifice? And that sacrifice sometimes look like not going out every weekend. It looks like, no, I'm not taking that spring break trip this year. I'm actually going to take that week off and stay home and use the time that I don't have to be at work while getting paid to build my business. I'm actually going to be strategic in my vacation time this year because I really don't have any business going out wasting money right now. I don't have the money to do it. So I'm going to be strategic with my vacation time this year, and I'm going to be planning my days off with days that I want to film my content. I'm going to be taking my PTO days and doing my sick days strategically to actually rest and look refreshed for the video that I want to make, because I know that if I'm working all week and I look super tired, I'm less inclined to make the video because I still care about how I look physically, and that's okay. I'm not shaming you. But since you know that, then I need you to take the day off to rest and refresh yourself, wash your hair, get presentable, and get dressed up and do the video. Stockpile, do a couple videos. So if that's the reason why you don't do the videos all the time, then I need you to take the extra step, make the effort, take the PTO day off, take the sick day off, and what? I don't know. So this is okay. Make sure that you're following me on YouTube, you guys. I know I keep saying that, but I have to set a date on when I'm going to be transferring my lives from TikTok to YouTube because the censorship on TikTok is way too much. I don't know what I just said that got a restriction, but again, the link is in my bio. My website is in my bio. So make sure that you're following me on Instagram and YouTube. Those are going to be the two main platforms that I'm going to be using in 2026 and going forward. So just make sure that you check out that if you want to continue joining my lives and doing the 4 days or 5 days of coaching, of the free coaching. It's going to be on YouTube Live. I'm just trying to figure out how it works and if I like the interface and just all the things. But anyway, back on topic. I don't know what happened. I got so distracted by the stupidness. Okay. But yeah, if you get really honest about your intent, things get a lot easier. I think that you guys are starting to wake up to how much you really lie to yourself to make yourself comfortable and why you're not doing the things that you want to do. All these excuses that you keep coming up with just really aren't making sense at this point, and you know it. You know it. A lot of the things are just like, okay, but then just stop doing that. Okay, well, if you don't have money to do the things that you need to do, then stop using the money to escape all the time. Choose. Which one do you want? Do you want to choose to work on your future and invest in your future? Or do you want to choose to continue doing things that escape the uncomfortable feelings that you have around choosing your future and what you desire? It's just a loop. It's a loop that you've been in for a long time. It is. It is a loop that many of us have been in for a very long time, and we can't run from it anymore. The ignorance is no longer blissful, and the awareness is literally kicking our ass, and we know it. I've been practicing and feeling called to play the handpan more because I'm really ready to start recording some music. Those of you who don't know, I have 3 songs produced by moi, and it's out on all major platforms, but I don't have any music with the handpan, just the sound bowls and the pyramids and the chimes. But I've really been playing for the last year and a half, practicing, and yeah, I haven't been here in a while. Nope, not yet. Yeah, Yeshua, not yet. not yet. It's been a real big struggle this time, and I think this has been the hardest time for me to let it go, because I know that I need to let it go for some significant amount of time. And so I think that this time I'm holding on to this version of myself desperately, because I'm like, no, but I like it, but it does help, and I go back and forth and talking myself into reasons on why I shouldn't, because it does help, and doesn't it? But the truth is, it doesn't have to be forever, and I think that that's what we have to go into. It doesn't have to be forever. But if you know that something's controlling you, if you know that you're depending on something, whether it's a person, a thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know that too much of anything is not good. And so not only are we addicted to substances and alcohol and certain things like that, but we also are addicted to people. We are a people and attention and connection, and most of us are so lonely right now because we've been forced into the solitude and hermit mode, and even when we try to date and distract ourselves, it's not working out. It's not feeling the same, because we know we don't want to go down the same pattern, and so we're not getting the same dopamine hit from the things that we used to. It's not feeling the same because it's just no longer what we want. We don't want to escape. We want to actually create a reality that we want to be present in. We want to actually create a reality that we want to be sober in. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just keep having a reality that I constantly want to keep running from. So whatever it is in this current reality that you're running from, stop running from it, so then no longer you have to escape. You know what I'm saying? If you just deal with whatever it is that you're running from, you then no longer feel as inclined to constantly waste time and money and resources and energy escaping, because you actually are building the current reality that you enjoy, which impacts your future. You see, you can't build the future in the future. You can't build the future in the future. You can't build the future in the future. The future can only be created in the present time. So what are you doing right now that's beneficial to your future? I have not flowed like this in a while. I can tell that I'm just getting more comfortable and comfortable with myself, with you guys, just everything. I'm not putting the pressure on myself anymore, and I can tell that I'm just getting better and better at my art, the less and less I care about being validated for it. It's so awesome. I feel like, yeah, my art is improving the less and less I care about the validation around my art. So yeah, the more and more that I just do it for myself, and the more and more that I enjoy what I'm doing and that I love what I'm creating, the more that I'm able to flow and go into the depths and feel more confident, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I realize how much that me caring about everyone's validation was really holding me back, because I wasn't creating from a place of truth. I was creating from my ego and what I thought people liked. And then I saw myself like not copying people, but like I would look at people who were doing oh, this went viral. And then I'd be like, oh, I could do this idea, instead of just having my own original stuff and my own original thoughts and just being brave enough to express them. I would see what already was successful for someone and saying, okay, well, I can create this type of art. I want to be successful too. And it's like, no, they're successful because it was true to them in that moment. They're successful in it because it came from their heart at that time in the moment. And if you have a similar message that you want to express, that's nothing wrong with that. It's not like there's any real original thoughts that much anyway, but it's just in the way that you articulate it, in the depth and the experience behind it, that's going to make people really understand it in the way that you want to be understood. But you can't achieve that falsely. You can't achieve that by trying to fake the depth. You got to feel it for yourself in order for it to flow more fluidly. And that's why you see where people are just able to really do it, because they're just not scared of how they're being perceived. Even musicians, I love seeing how people can just be in it and do the emotions and feelings. Even some people can't even get into that depth when they're playing their instrument, because they're so scared of people seeing how they let go, and maybe they make a weird face, or maybe maybe they do a weird thing with their lip, or maybe their nose curls up when they're getting into it, and they're so worried about how that looks, and people saying, oh, look how they look with their lip curl, when instead of recognizing that the person that's pointing out how their lip is curling, instead of being so moved by the passion of someone, is someone who's on the surface anyway. And why do you care? You know, you're on the surface anyway. You just can't connect. So yeah, you making fun of me is probably just you being uncomfortable with the fact of how comfortable I am with myself, and you seeing yourself in my position wouldn't dare do that lip curl because you're more worried about how people perceive you. And so you project that onto me, and you make fun of me, and you think that I should be impacted by you making fun of me. But I'm really just feeling the flow and the passion that I don't even see what you're doing. It's not even landing. It's not even penetrating, because I'm so much in this happiness, which is something that you crave. That's why you're making fun of me. You crave the passion. You crave the skill. You crave the talent. You crave to really master something within yourself, the same way that you're seeing that I'm mastering it. And that's what it is. That's the jealousy. And the jealousy means that you don't think that you can achieve the same things. And that is not a me problem. That's a personal problem. That's something that you have to rewire within your brain. That's something that someone told you in childhood. That's something that you gained a message growing up, and you're still running with it. And you want everybody else to feel the same way you feel, because you're aware of the fact that not everybody feels how you feel. Because clearly if they did, they wouldn't be doing the things that they love, just like you. And so when you see me doing what I love, it becomes a confrontational mirror that you're making a choice not to. And you don't like having choices. You like being having things being laid out and told for you, so you don't have to think for yourself, so you don't have to get uncomfortable, so you don't have to do anything hard. But once you see through my own inability, or through my own pursuit of happiness, you see that it's a possible. That possibility actually irks you, because then it shows that maybe you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It shows you that maybe you're just wasting your time and you're not stepping into your potential. It shows you a whole bunch of things. That is why people make fun of people. That is why people crack jokes and or tear people down when people are being in their truth. That's why. It's because they're not. And by you being in your truth, it's confronting, and it triggers them, because it's such a mirror. Because you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself, babe. You know that. You can lie to everybody else, and you can really lie to yourself for a long time and convince yourself. But at the end of the day, when you lay your head on the pillow, you know if you're truly happy or not. And the more aware and the more you wake up on this journey, the harder it is for you to lie about it. And this is why you feel like you've been depressed. And this is why you feel sad, because you missed that bubbly part of you. And I missed this part of me. And I missed the part of me that was this. And I missed the part of me that was just happy. Okay, that was a character. That was a role. Why don't we try to find that part of you with more depth? Why don't we try to find a part of you that's actually sustainably happy and not fleeting moments all the time? A lot of you look back, all of your happiness is based around moments of high dopamine and when you're lying to yourself and pretending and playing a role when you were unaware. But even in the relationship, you thought you were so happy, and in the beginning, after those 6 months, it went to straight shit. It was hell. You couldn't stand it. You went so high to go so low. And that catastrophic relationship that catapulted you into your spiritual awakening, because you got so fucking hurt, because the abandonment wound hit so deep, because it was finally ready. It was fine. You were finally ready to accept the fact that you're not as confident as you think you are. You were finally ready to accept the fact that you're also toxic in relationships. You were finally ready to accept the fact that you've been chasing mom and dad in all these relationships this whole time, wanting your mom and dad to put up with your bad behavior the same way that you want your partner to. But then you realize that your partner is not your mom and dad. But that inner child that you still haven't reconciled with, that inner child that you still are ignoring, that inner child that you don't protect anymore, that inner child still wants someone to accept them for them, and the person that they want to accept them for them is you. But you've been thinking that it's someone else outside of you. But no, you can't even receive the love until you start to love yourself, because you literally don't feel worthy of these parts being seen, which is why you hide them every time you go into a relationship, only for them to blow up, because you're human and you can't compartmentalize everything for so long unless you're a sociopath. And you're not. You're not a sociopath. That's the problem, okay? You feel deeply. So stop trying to act like you're numb. Stop trying to act like because you don't care about people disrespecting you, it's a fucking flex. No, it just shows that you disrespect yourself. That's all it shows. It's not a flex that you don't care about shit. It's not a flex that you're the easygoing person. It's not a flex that you don't have any needs. It's not a flex that you don't have no boundaries. It just shows that you don't respect yourself. That's all it shows. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It'd be one thing if you not having boundaries and letting people disrespect yourself actually made you feel good, but it doesn't. That's how you know that it's wrong. But you're so numb and so fixated on trying to get somebody to choose you that you realize and wake up to the fact that you don't even really want to be chosen by this person. You want to be chosen by a version of them that you've created in your head, a version of them that could exist in the future if they would do all these other things. So who do you really love? The person that you see right now, or the person who they could be, or the person that you're projecting them to be? You're actually falling in love with yourself. You're actually falling in love with yourself because you're projecting the ideologies and the beliefs and the way that you would treat people onto them. And then you're getting upset when they're not returning the same love. That's not who they really are right now. That's not who they are right now. It's who you want them to be. It's who you're forcing them to be. It's who you're nagging them to be. It doesn't feel good, does it, to nag somebody? It doesn't feel good, does it, to force someone? It doesn't feel good to have to walk on eggshells and be hypervigilant in a relationship that you're supposed to feel safe in, that you're supposed to be growing. You have the business to talk about, when we get married. Child, you can't even get 2 weeks without feeling dysregulated, talking about some marriage, thinking that having a ring is going to make you feel secure from the fact that you don't even trust this person. Stop. Okay? Child. It's crazy. What you thinking? How we looking for rings? Okay. Always fighting on vacation. Put a heart in the chat if you were that couple that always had a problem on vacation. You were the one that was fighting and you caught because you wanted to go on vacation to fix things. You wanted to go on vacation to heal things, but you don't want to talk about the shit. You just want to go on vacation and you want to cuddle up and you want to, let's do this and we can do this we can hump our way out of it. Okay? We can hump our way into happiness. You can't hump your way into happiness, baby. Okay? You can't hump your way into happiness. 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 Okay? I don't care how good it is. I don't care. It's usually, if you like, it's usually a demon. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no more of that demon. Okay? We don't want no more of it. I don't want to be caught up by that. Put it away. I want to talk about the thing. Put it away. I want to talk about the issues. Okay? Put it away. I want to talk about the issues. Put it away. I want to talk about the issues. I said, put it away. I want to talk about the issues. Put it away. I want to talk about the issues. Stay focused. All right? Stay focused. Okay? Hey, stay focused. Stop doing that. I know I'm talking to some of y'all. Some of y'all just get weak in the knees. I need you to stay focused. Okay? Stay focused. You want more than that. Okay? I know that the toxic intimacy sometimes really floods our minds and it makes us think things that are not true. Sometimes that toxic, and it does. I know sometimes it be hitting. I know it be hitting. See, I want to validate you. You see what I'm saying? Because you are not able to really speak on here because it's more just me speaking and we're in this group therapy, I'm going to say the things that I know, okay? Because I want to validate that I know. I'm going to validate your experiences, but I'm also going to say, hey, babe, like I know, but it's going to be 10 times better when you actually care about the person, you know the person cares about you and you feel safe and you can do this and you're not doing it to appease somebody, okay? We have to go back to the intent. Why are you laying up and doing this and doing it from the rafters and flipping and doing acrobats? It just seems like a lot. Because you're not getting what you want in return. You're doing this, but you want the emotional connection. You want the intimacy. You want the stuff in between. And why are you settling for that? I think that you should have that and deserve that. But you got to stop playing this role and playing this character, okay? Some of you deserve Oscars for the way that you faked some of the experiences. You know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all need Academy Awards, okay? Stop appeasing people, okay? And stop abandoning yourself in that way. You need to have better boundaries around your body. I'm going to say it. You need to have better boundaries around your body. Stop pretending that you don't get severely dysregulated as soon as you cross that boundary with your body. Stop acting like that, okay? Stop acting like you don't get that debilitating anxiety as soon as you cross that boundary with your body. I need you to be more aware of how you feel when you do things so that you stop doing the same thing, expecting different results, okay? You're not the person that you've projected yourself to be. Or maybe you've changed Maybe what you want has changed. Maybe before you were okay with hitting it and quitting it, but now you want something of depth. And so you have to change the pattern of behavior. You're not a hit it and quit it kind of person. You need to get to know the person. You need to build up now. You've changed. It's okay. And back in your day, you used to be, hey, yeah, oh, ah. But you also realize that back in your day, a lot of those situations you were under the influence. A lot of those situations you were running. A lot of those situations didn't really feel as good. A lot of those situations were romanticized in your head, but really when you look at it through a third-party observer, you weren't even being yourself. You weren't even connected, and the person that you were with didn't even give a damn. You're with somebody who was very emotionally unavailable, and even though you could clearly tell that you were tensed up and not enjoying it, they were, and so that's what matters. Okay? Stop romanticizing some of this shit and start looking at it through real clear eyes. Take off the rose-colored glasses with some of the times that you said were so fun and start to look at a lot of the intimate experiences were rooted in trauma that you had not resolved. Okay? That's why you're changing as you're healing and you're getting older and you're changing and you're like, wait, I don't really want it as much anymore. It doesn't really sound as good. I don't know. This doesn't even sound the same or feel the same anymore. I actually don't want to do anything. I actually don't want anybody close to me anymore. I don't want nobody. I just want to be by myself. I just realized that, and you start to realize that it's not just all these people taking advantage of you. That's when you were in this victim mindset. It was you also not having boundaries and knowing yourself. You didn't know yourself. So you were doing things that you had no business doing that weren't even a representation of you, but you're watching Sex and the City and you think that Samantha is how you're supposed to be. You're watching Sex and the City and you think that you need to be fitting these characters because this is what a grown woman or this is what a grown person acts like. No, it's you based on your experiences. Maybe that works for other people, but because you had sexual trauma when you were 13, the reason why you're doing this is because you were groomed. I know that doesn't sound as sexy. That doesn't sound as attractive as the narrative of Sex and the City. But if you actually watch the whole show and look into the character, Samantha's not really that confident at all. She's actually really scared of being hurt and letting her heart be truly seen by people. So she covers that up by just having these empty experiences to get this dopamine hit and feel seen and heard. But whenever she gets sick and whenever she actually needs somebody, none of those people show up. And then she goes into these deep depressions where she's like, I don't have anybody here to actually give me soup. And I don't have anybody here to do this. Yeah, it's because you want more. You don't have anybody there to do that because you pretend and you play a character that you don't give a damn about it. And you think that your money and your success and your high-rise apartment and the fact that you have all these well-known status and these men running in and out makes you something. But at the end of the day, all you want is to be loved. Genuinely, deeply, sincerely. But there's a part of you that doesn't think that will ever happen. There's a deep, deep part of you that doesn't think that you deserve it. There's a deep, deep part of you that doesn't believe it will ever happen. And so you convince yourself. You play a character to get through this life so you don't have to sit with the fact that you don't really feel like you're enough, because it's not sexy and attractive to walk around and go into a relationship and say, actually, I really don't feel deserving of you. I really don't feel deserving of you. I actually think that you're too attractive for me. I actually really don't believe that someone that looks like you would actually like me. So I'm actually going to go in overdrive and overcompensate because the way that you look doesn't fit the narrative of who I think I should be with based on what I think about myself, how I feel about myself, the fact that I never got attention from men growing up. And so when someone looks like you that's conventionally attractive, why do you like me? I'm ugly. I'm not this. No one ever liked me. There must be something. I can't trust it. Let me do all these other things. Let me have something to do. Let me do all these things to make sure, because it can't just be because of me. It can't just be because of me. I don't even like me. I don't even like me. So because I'm so insecure, but I don't want him to know that I'm insecure, I'm going to overcompensate. And so overcompensating means I'm going to do something that I'm not really ready to do, because who I am at my core, I actually need some time before I'm actually intimate to actually feel it within my own body, to really to have my body actually say, yes, I want to do this. I actually need more time. But the way I overcompensated in the past is by doing things that I wasn't ready to do to appease people, because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. I wanted to be chosen, and I didn't want people to be upset with me, because I knew in the past when people were upset with me, bad things happened. I knew that in the past when people were upset, or if I didn't want to do something I didn't want to do, those boundaries were not honored or respected, and it was overpowered. So it doesn't matter. So instead of going through all that, let me just do it now, because I really desperately want attention. And deep down, I don't think that anybody will like me. So the fact that this person is actually giving me attention attention and actually giving me the time of day, there's some things that I'm just going to need to compromise within myself, my values, my morals, my safety. I'm going to need to compromise those things because I want to be chosen more than I want to feel safe. I want to be chosen more than I want to be respected. I want to be chosen more than I want to be with the actual right person. I just want to be with anybody because there's a deep-rooted belief that I'm not worthy. But that's not sexy to say on the first date, the second date, the third date. No one wants to walk around talking like that, but your actions speak for you. They do. Your actions speak for you. They do. Your actions speak for you. They do. You're just surrounding yourself with people that are committed to not seeing themselves. Therefore, they have a hard time seeing you too, which is exactly how you like it. Until now. Or you wouldn't be on this live if you didn't want to be seen, because I know that I'm speaking directly to some of you. You want to be seen. You're just scared of it. You want to be seen. You're just scared of how people are going to perceive this new version of you. But it's not a new version of you. It's who you've always been. But this character that you've been playing the last 20, 30 years is getting old. You're fucking tired of performing. And you want real ass relationships. And you want real ass friendships. And you have to look in the mirror and say, where have I been fake? Where am I still being fake? Because it's not just everybody else is not real. Like, whenever I hear people say that, I'm like, nah, you need to look in the mirror, because there's a lot of people out here that are not being real with themselves. Where are you still not being real with yourselves? Because I find people, all my friends are being real with themselves because I am real with myself. So if you're finding that you're surrounding yourself with people that are this and that, look in the mirror and say, where am I still not being real? Where am I still not opening up in these friendships? Where am I still skipping the opportunity when someone's doing a deep share in the group circle and there's, I want to tell them about that thing. This is on the tip of my tongue, but no, they might judge me. That's where you're still not being vulnerable. That's where you're still not being emotionally available. You had an opportunity to allow somebody to get to know a deeper side of you, and you were too scared. That's just the fact. You held back. But then you say, people don't know you and I want people to know you. Do you? So the more that you get comfortable with what people may see, the more that you allow people to fully see you. But because you're not comfortable with what people may see, and because you haven't done that inner work to really love those shadow aspects of yourself that are not going anywhere, they're always going to be a part of you. But the more that you learn how to regulate your nervous system, and the more that you accept and radically accept these parts of you, the more that you have more options on how you react to people when they see these insecure parts of you. So my hair used to be a really big insecure part of me. My hair used to be a big insecure part. So if anybody would say, oh, your hair's nappy and it would do this, that would really trigger me. And I would be like, because I believed it. I believed that the nappy equaled ugly. I believed that nappy equals undesirable. Nappy is a derogatory, whatever. And so because I believed it, because I was conditioned to believe it, if someone would point it out, of course, it would make me feel insecure, and maybe I'll go get it straightened. Maybe I'll go get it hot combed and go get it straightened. I don't want to get picked at. But then when I said, you know what, I don't want to burn out my hair and literally ruin the health of my hair just because other people don't like it. And why don't I like it? And then when I started seeing other Black women wearing their natural hair and they felt beautiful, I could feel the confidence that they felt. I was like, what the fuck? How did this Black woman feel confident with their natural hair? I thought we weren't supposed to like it. And then I realized, oh my God, I thought we weren't supposed to like it. What the heck? And that curiosity just made me go deeper into the systematic racism and the anti-Blackness and all the things. And then it made me realize, oh, these are not my thoughts. These were the thoughts of society projected onto me. And because I didn't have a lot of representation growing up, I believed it. But now as I get older and people are more getting empowered and emboldened and all the different things and inspired, I'm seeing more of it. And so because they feel confident, then why can't I be confident? And so then I started wearing my hair natural. And then I got a whole natural hair care channel on YouTube. My YouTube channel actually started in 2014. It was called Chris Has Curls. And I wanted to teach Black women how to do their natural hair, because I realized a lot of us didn't know how to do it because we were so conditioned to change and burn our hair out to fit the European standards of beauty. And this is why a lot of Black women struggle with their hair now, and why a lot of Black women, when they first go natural, they really have a hard time feeling beautiful, because they're so conditioned to think that having long straight hair down their back is what makes them beautiful. And because we've been wearing this for so long, you're used to seeing yourself that way. And it's the same thing when you stop wearing makeup. I had to adjust to my natural skin when I stopped wearing makeup. And I was like, no, I don't want to have any more relaxers. I don't want to wear any more extensions. I don't want to wear any more makeup. I don't want to try to change my skin in any way. I just want to learn how to love my skin. I'm so tired of feeling insecure. And so in my mind, I was like, I got to put out all the insecurities so that I can get comfortable with myself. That was how I decided to to just start being more confident. I was like, I just got to put myself out there. And so I started taking off the makeup and just taking better care of my skin. And then I realized, oh my gosh, as soon as I took off the makeup, my skin improved. And so then I didn't even feel the need to wear the makeup because I liked how my skin was. The makeup was what was making my skin not look good. And then it's all a sham. It's all a sham. The makeup is, I think it's so beautiful. It's an art, but also it's sold to women as a security thing. You can be more secure and more beautiful if you have this. If you have this pimple, no one's going to love you. No, that's not true. We are buying into a narrative that is for consumerism. They're playing on our insecurities, and then we are spending all this money. We're spending all this money trying to do something that we don't even have to. And then all this to hear men say, I love when women don't wear makeup. Shut the fuck. Are you kidding me? Don't you see? They're literally telling you, but you think you have to do all this stuff. So if you like wearing it, fine. But if you feel like you have to because you're insecure without it, that's something that I would challenge you to start working on so that you can be more liberated and confident in yourself. I promise. I promise. Please see how they have manipulated you into being insecure around things that are gorgeous. Please see how they've manipulated you into believing that there's something wrong with you. Hi, guys. I want you to see how they're capitalizing on these insecurities that they implanted into you because if Kim Kardashian decided to be the spokesperson for crow's eyes and all of a sudden wrinkles were in, which is something that's probably going to happen. It's nice. Aging with grace is in. It's just like, oh my God, now we're going to have a whole thing. They'll find a way. All of a sudden, if we changed and we said, we don't care about Botox, we don't care about it anymore. Fuck you guys. We're going to age with grace. Oh, these big corporations would find a way to capitalize on us aging with grace. Here you go. You want to have those crow's feet? Are you tired of having that smooth skin and you want to be aging with grace? Well, here's these little clips that you can sleep with at night that the more you sleep with it, the more fine lines will get into your face, and then you'll have that aged, mature look, because aged, mature look is in. You know what I'm saying? They can capitalize on anything, you guys. They can capitalize, and then all of a sudden you'll have 20-year-olds who have all the collagen and fresh face, and they'll be like, oh my God, I hate looking so fresh-faced. I wish I had wrinkles. I wish I had, it's whatever it is. They just, if you don't have a strong sense of self, they can get you like that. If you don't have a strong sense of self and you don't see the bigger picture and you can't see the bigger agenda, you will walk right into it, and we are. They literally tell you, oh my gosh, some of the stuff that we're injecting in our skin is causing infertility, and we still mindlessly do inject it in our skin just to get the person so that we can procreate with, because we don't think that with the wrinkles we can find somebody, only to get to the stage of procreation to say, oh my gosh, I have infertility. I have infertility. So I did the Botox to get the man, and now I got the man so I could have the baby, and now it's time to have the baby and I'm infertile. Oh man. Now I have to pay $70,000 for in vitro. It worked. It's working. Wake up. You got to start accepting that you're going to get lines in your face. You have to start accepting this is the process. You got to stop letting them brainwash you into slowly killing yourself financially, physically, mentally, spiritually. You got to wake up. It's not sustainable. You got to wake up. It's not sustainable. Let's see. What did you guys think about the mistakes that I made? What did you guys think about the mistakes that I made just now? Quickly, what did you guys think about the mistakes that I just made when I was just playing that little tune? I made a lot of mistakes because I forgot certain notes and just, oh, what did you guys think about the mistakes that I made? What did you guys think about the mistakes that I made? What did you guys think? Oh, uh, uh, oh, I just made a mistake. Several of them. I just made a mistake. I just made a mistake in front of 60 people. I just made a mistake. I'm never playing this again. I'm never playing that again. Fuck that. Done. I'm done with it. Yeah. Oh, you mean it's okay to make mistakes? Oh, you mean that so if you guys didn't notice mine, could maybe people not even notice yours, and maybe it's just bigger in your head than it is to other people, and maybe you think that people care a lot more than they think they do? So since you didn't notice the mistakes that I clearly made, I did. I clearly made mistakes. So since you didn't notice, could it be the same thing for you? Could it maybe be for you that maybe people won't notice that so much? And then even if they do notice, is it such a big deal? Is it that big of a deal? Because it's bigger in your head than it is out here. It's bigger in your head than it is out here. I said it, bigger in your head than it is out here. It's bigger in your head than it is out here because you stay in your head to try to get around all the different things. You ruminate, you meditate all day long and all the possibilities on how things could go wrong and how you could feel. And then it scares you and you get PTSD and you're like, nope. You got to stop doing that, okay? You think about it too much instead of just acting. You overthink, over-intellectualize your trauma, over-intellectualize your trauma. Okay, I know that I have abandonment wounds from my dad, and I know that I fawn him because I'm still gaining his approval. Okay, so then the next time that dad does something and then you fawn him to gain his approval after you just acknowledge that, that's a conscious choice. Okay, that's a conscious choice. You're in a pattern of behavior. So when are we going to get out of our head with what we know and actually start to do different? Right, I saw what you did there. Oh, you saw it? Oh, you saw what I did. Yeah, so how long are you going to know that you're fawning your father to gain his approval, which is also bleeding into the way that you interact with romantic relationships? And so you can see the correlation that, oh, the reason why I'm attracting these type of relationships is because I'm still trying to gain the approval of my dad. And if your dad is still in your life, that means that we have to rewrite the program at the source. Once you stop gaining the approval of dad, I promise you won't care as much of getting the approval of these other partners. I'm telling you, the reason why is your inner child is trying to course correct subconsciously and you're not aware of it. Your inner child does not want to accept the fact that something's wrong with them because they know deep down there's not, but you have a belief that something's inherently wrong, that you're unlovable, even though at your core, you know the truth, but you're allowing this program to dictate your behavior and decisions because you've been brainwashed for a very long time. And so we see this all the time in movies. When you see people in movies that are held captive, right? And you see people who have been held captive for 10 years and they end up liking their abuser. They're like, oh, I don't want to leave. I like it here. That Stockholm syndrome, whatever the heck, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. It's the brainwashing. It's the conditioning. It's the way that the human brain adapts to survive. Because if I'm not getting out, after I give up hope, after I start fighting after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, some people will just give up and say, you know what, I'm just good. If you can't beat them, I'm going to join them. Some people for 20 years will say, fuck that, I'm still going to have a plan. Everyone's different. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's mind is different. Some people for 20 years, they're like, They stay in that grit. They're able to stay in that strong sense of self, and they're able to just stay in it, and they're able to still just fake the funk. But some people, to survive, they're like, yo, I am into astrology. Yes. Some people will just be like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is too much traumatic for me every day to fight this. It's too traumatic for me every day to acknowledge that I'm being held captive against my will in a basement. So what the human brain is going to do is dissociate from the truth and then create a new narrative that is more comfortable for you to live in, because you've surrendered to the fact that this is your new normal, and you want to make your new normal as pleasurable, as happy as possible, even though it's fucked up. That's how the brain adapts, okay? And so some of you have adapted for 20, 30 years of being told by your parents that you ain't shit. 20, 30 years of your parents treating you in a way that made you not have trust in yourself. Maybe you had the helicopter parent that was like, you can't do that. And what did you do? And why you do? And you literally have like anxiety around the indecisiveness within yourself and you can't stand it. You're like, I'm so fucking indecisive and I don't trust myself to make decisions. And then we have our coaching call and I'm like, well, how did your parents empower you to make decisions? And then you tell me a story about how you grew up and I'm like, okay, it makes so much sense why you don't trust yourself. Every single time you tried to have an opinion, you were literally beat. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you had an opinion, you were told that, oh, shut up, you're too small to have an opinion about anything. Okay, so I understand why you don't trust yourself. You were not given the tools on how to trust yourself. Or you had a parent that projected their extreme fear onto you. Put a heart in the chat if you have a very, very anxious parent. Usually it's going to be a mother, but it's not limited to. But raise your hand if you have a very anxious mom and everything you do. Oh my God, how you gonna, oh my God, you can't do this. Walking, this and that. And you notice now as an adult, you're scared to go hiking. You're scared to go outside. You're scared to walk out this. And you're like, what the fuck? Why am I so scared of everything? And then you start to remember and you start to become more aware, even if your mother is still in your life and she still acts this way, you start to realize, stop. Oh my gosh, it's you. It's you. That you're the reason why I'm scared of everything. Why do you project fear? Literally walking, you're scared. Traveling, you're scared. Everything. What the fuck? I don't want to be scared of life. Yes, I need to have a healthy amount of fear to protect myself and not just be out here frivolous and just whatever. But damn. You know, and so some of you realize that your personality is so much because of the projection of what your parents think is right and wrong, how your parents want to live, how your parents do. And so this is where you got to wake up and have your own mind and be brave enough to disappoint them at some point. At some point, you got to be brave enough to disappoint your parents and live your own damn life and know that the disappointment and you honoring yourself, if you're not doing nothing to hurt nobody maliciously, you're not doing anything that's objectively wrong, and you just changing your career from doctor to musician is making your mom have heart palpitations, that is something that she needs to get in therapy about. I can't believe it. I wanted you to be a doctor. We told you that this is what you want. Don't you want to make your mother happy? No, I don't want to make you happy anymore if that means abandoning myself. No, I don't want to make you happy anymore if that means dishonoring what the fuck I want. This is my human experience and I don't want to live my life for you. If you wanted to be a doctor, mom, you should have been a doctor, and I'm sorry that you did not believe in yourself. I am so sorry that you didn't have the resources. I'm so sorry that you didn't have the ability because of your circumstances. I truly understand that, and I know that you want me to have the things that you didn't get to have, but I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a musician. And I cannot continue to live my life for you. I am miserable and it's making me resent you. And I realize that it's really me that I resent because I'm not brave enough to tell you no. I was not brave enough to disappoint you 10 years ago. And now here I am in debt doing something that I hate because I was not brave enough to tell you that this is not what I want to do. But now I'm waking up to it and I don't believe that it's too late for me to start over. And I'm going to start over. And if that means that you don't want to talk to me and you're going to disown me and you and dad are just going to be disappointed, that's okay, because the disappointment that I've felt in myself these last 10 years is palpable and it's overwhelming. And for once in my life, I care more about me. And I'm done feeling guilty about that. This is the conversation that some of you need to have. Who was that for? Because I've already had these conversations with my parents. So put a heart in the chat. Who was that? You know? Who was that? Disowning your own child is wild. I know. A lot of people do it. Put a heart in the chat if you know you need to have that conversation. It's coming. If you can feel it bubbling. You can feel it every single time that you interact with your parent, that particular parent that really triggers you, you can feel it. And it's you building up that strength because this particular parent makes you really anxious. When you think about the visceral response that you have when it comes to certain energy, this parent evokes a very big visceral response from you. You feel very disempowered. You feel immediately shrunk. You feel very small. Name that parent. If you have that parent in your life, I want you to be brave enough to name them in the chat. Who is the parent that makes you feel very small? Who's the parent that you feel like you all of a sudden you'll go into it with this mindset, and then when you go, you just immediately start performing and being a character for them, because it just feels so scary for you to just step into your power around this particular parent. You want the approval, or their response and reaction is so scary that you feel like, oh my gosh, they're going to either gaslight me. Some of you are not even scared of the physical abuse at this point. You're scared of the emotional abuse that you're going to go through. What if I confront them again? And what if I let them gaslight me? Some of you are so triggered by being gaslit. Sit with that for a second. Sit with that for a second. Some of you avoid conversations because you are so triggered by being gaslit and misunderstood, invalidated. Those things make you feel like you're being chased by a lion. Sit with that for a second. Sit with that. Being gaslit, being invalidated, and being misunderstood, being talked over and silenced, those particular things make you feel like you're being chased by a lion. And when those triggers start to come up in any type of relationship, you start to react as if you're being chased by a lion. Sit with that for a second. Whether you shut down, whether you start to fight, whether you start to fawn and plead and like go into that people pleaser, or you just dissociate altogether, or you literally physically get out of the house and run. You flight. You literally physically get up and get in your car and just say, fuck this. I'm not talking about this. Oh, fuck. When someone starts getting close to your truth, do you do that when someone starts saying, no, Lucy, no. Lucy, no, you do. I'm just using an example, Lucia, so I'm not picking on you. But no, you do this, and you know it's true. Do you do that? Do you get up and slam from the chair and say, you know what? Fuck that. I don't have to deal with this shit. No, fuck it. And you know, and then you get in the car and you start crying so hard. You start crying so hard because, man, why do people only see the bad things in me? Why they gotta see, what about this? And maybe no one cares. And it's because then you start going down this spiral because you have not validated your experiences. And so, yeah, you feel like a victim. You feel very attacked because you guys are sitting here talking about my anger. What about the anger that I've had to deal with for the last 25 fucking years? You always talk about me. Look at dad. You guys just walk around like that. That's the little girl. There they are. There's the little inner child that's coming out, and we're no longer the adults anymore. The 30-year-old Kristen, the 35-year-old Kristen, the 40-year-old is no longer in the room with us anymore. We're now dissociating. We're now in the past. Oh no, we're no longer in the future anymore when we start to go into that spiral. And this is why it is. And this is why you close your eyes. You're not even here. You don't want people to see you. This is why a lot of times you close your eyes because you don't want people to see you. You don't want to see them seeing you. It's so shameful that you've let this shadow come out. It's so shameful that people are seeing these dark depths. This is what you didn't want people to see. This is what you've been trying to avoid by playing it cool and being the people pleaser. This version. This is what you've been holding and suppressing. Because this version that tried to come out when you were younger was met with a narcissistic father who yelled louder, was met with a narcissistic mother who manipulated you. So you learn to shut up and you learn to just be quiet. Because like I made the example of being trapped in the basement by a captor, that's how a lot of us felt with our parents. Our parents were the captors and we could not escape the abuse. So we had to dissociate and learn how to deal with it. And some of us learned how to deal with the yelling and the anger by just shutting the fuck up. Even though we knew that our parents were wrong, even though we knew they were dead ass wrong, we learned that they're stronger. They have the control of the money. They have control of our life. They control if we go out, if we do this. And because we want to have some type of normalcy, because we want to have some type of happy life, let me just shut the fuck up and let me just go through this because I know I'm going to get grounded if I don't agree with my dad. And I really want to go out this weekend, so let me just abandon my truth so I can have some fun. You see, you had to sacrifice your truth to have some fun. And some of you are still sacrificing your truth to have some fun in these toxic ass relationships. You're still sacrificing your truth for a little bit of fun. You're still doing it. I hope that you see the connection in that. Woo! Who am I talking to? Put a heart in the chat if I'm talking to you. Put a heart in the chat if I'm talking to you. Put a heart in the chat if I'm talking to you. Put a heart in your chat if you feel seen and heard. I love it because that's why I do it. I want you to feel seen and heard. I want you to know that even if no one in your life understands what the fuck you're going through, even if you can't articulate all these feelings because you haven't had the time, made the time to sit in process, I have. I've been sitting in processing since February 13th, 2021. I remember the first day that I stopped having a pity party for myself. It was February 13th, 2021 in a hotel in Tucson, Arizona. in this toxic ass relationship. And you'll note that February 13th is Valentine's Day weekend, and this is the first time I'm so excited to have a partner. Yes, I finally got a man on Valentine's Day. And oh yeah, I was in a hotel crying and throwing a pity party on that hotel on that weekend, instead of having this romantic weekend that I envisioned in my head, because I could no longer cosplay this relationship anymore. I could no longer cosplay that I was in a healthy relationship. And so yeah, I found myself in a damn hotel crying, screaming, upset because I just ran again from another toxic fight that I could not deal with emotionally. I didn't have the capacity. So I got in my car, booked a hotel, and left. And it was that moment where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm so fucking tired of doing this. I'm wasting money getting hotels and Airbnbs just because I can't deal with the pain and the tenseness in this relationship, and because I'm trying to test them to see if he chased me. A big part of the reason why I was getting hotels and leaving in my car was I wanted him to chase me, because that was the subconscious test that I was putting people through, because that's what my dad put me through. He would do all this toxic ass shit, and then he would turn off the phone and block me, and then eventually I'd come running back because I wanted his love. And that was a toxic run and chaser that started with my dad. A lot of people think this anxious attachment starts with your lovers. No, the anxious attachment runner chaser usually starts with a parent. Because put a heart in the chat if your parent has cut you off and said, fuck you, when you knew that they were in the wrong. And then after time goes by, you start to really miss them. And then you're the one who comes crawling back to them. And I say it in that way because that's how we feel in relationships. But we have done that same shit with our parents, where we let them get by treating us like shit because we love them and we want them in our life, and we don't want them to miss monumental moments. And we're so conditioned to think, no, of course you're going to have your parent at your wedding. And of course you're going to have your parent when your baby's born. I don't want to miss that. But some people don't have that privilege. Some people don't deserve that. But it's your love for them, and the way that society makes us feel that we're bad for not including our parents in these certain situations. And because of our deep love for our parents, we want them to be included. This is why we get so frustrated, and we keep giving them hundreds of chances to get their shit together until they trigger us again. And then we go through the loop over and over and over again until we finally say, fuck it, I choose me. I'm done. I will deal with the pain of your absence with my friends. I will talk about it in therapy, but I will not give you this anymore. And then we go in and we start to heal, and we start to see ourselves more clearly, and we start to understand our parents. And then we start to find, some of us, not all of us, but some of us start to find that grace and compassion, and we start to see our parents as the little boy and girls that they are. We do. We stop seeing our parents as these big bad wolves that trigger us and have all this power and control over us. Because once we stop giving a damn about that and we start living our own lives, that power dissipates. So then we just still have our love. We're still then left with our love for them. And sometimes, how we feel bad for them. But like we realize, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that at 39, 35, 36, whatever, I'm so glad that I woke up to this. And now I see my parent who's 70, 75, and they never woke up to this. And they lived their whole life with this anger. And they've lived their whole life with this idea that they're not enough. It's so obvious now how insecure that my dad really was. It's so obvious. And it's like, if I knew what I know now, I would have been able to approach him way differently in life. But I really thought that he knew everything. And the way that he used to tell me about myself when he would get mad and break me down and call me names, I really believed those words. I really thought that I was selfish for having needs when he would tell me that, when I would try to hold him accountable, because I said, I need my dad in my life. I need you to show up for me more. And then he would make me feel like I was selfish for that. And so then I said, okay, I guess having basic needs is selfish. And so I settled for breadcrumbs in relationships after that. Because I was just like, all right, well, the person who's role modeling to me what relationships should look like is telling me that having needs is selfish, and I really want to have a partner. So I'm going to just eliminate this part of me. Done. I'm just going to eliminate this part of me that has needs, and I'm just going to handle a lot of things on my own in the privacy of my own darkness. And then whenever I can be good and make people feel happy, then I'm lovable. But whenever I have needs, or I feel something, or I feel upset, I gotta go into the closet and I have to go into the depths. That part of me is not lovable. That part of me is not worthy of being seen. People only like me when I'm telling jokes and entertaining them. They don't like me when I'm upset and angry at them. So I'm going to pretend that I never get angry at anybody ever again, because I desperately want to be loved. And my dad conditioned me, and my mom conditioned me to believe that when I'm mad at them, they take their love away. And so I don't want love taken away from me anymore. So that means that I just can't be mad at anybody anymore. So then I just turn into a people pleaser. But then once I realize, oh, the anger is not just like gone, I'm just not expressing it. And so now it's just building, building, building. And then all of a sudden I just explode. And it's like a really big reaction. And I don't like it. I feel like it's like out of control. It's beyond me. I feel like I black out. I feel like I just can't control myself. And then it's less about why I'm upset and more about why I'm acting this way. And then that makes me feel even more misunderstood, because now you're not even focusing on my pain and my validity of it, and you're just focusing on my reaction to it. But I understand, because this reaction is quite jarring from the representation that I showed you the last 6 months. I know that this version of me is very, very uh it's what is it, contrasting from who I've portrayed myself to be. So I can understand why you'd be kind of taken back when you see this side of me. I'm just speaking to you. I'm just speaking. Is this resonating? Is this resonating? These are the things that are left unsaid. These are the things that you don't say out loud. Why? Why? Why do you hide these parts of yourself? Why don't you love these parts of yourself? Why don't you understand these parts of yourself? Why are you not compassionate towards your pain? Why are you so rough towards yourself, but so empathetic towards everybody else? Why don't you give a damn about the things that you've been through? You know? Why are you not so kind? Why don't you look at your situation through loving eyes? Why don't you look at your childhood through loving eyes? You know? Some of you need to revisit some of these situations as a third party observer. And I know it's painful, and I know it's going to trigger you, and I know it's going to cause you to see certain people differently. And that's one of the reasons why you don't want to go deep into your childhood again, is because it's going to force you to look at your mom a little bit different, and it's going to force you to see your dad a little bit different, because you're going to see how they manipulated you, and they're going to see how they abused you, even if it wasn't their intention. It's how you interpret it. It's how you internalized it. So it doesn't matter what their intent was. Their intent was because they loved you. They were hitting you because they loved you, right? That's what they said. But how did you internalize that? Did you internalize that as love? Does it feel like love when you do it to your children? Do you say the same things? You're making me hit you. You're making me do this. That's the same thing that abusers say, babe. You're making me do this. I don't want to do this. You're making me do. No, that means that you don't know how to regulate your emotions. And when your child is dysregulated, the only tool that you have is to hit them. That's what that says. It's no one's making you do anything. It just means that you don't have any other tools, because you don't know how to communicate. And sometimes you get really upset that your 6-year-old, 7-year-old is more intuitive than you are, and they speak their truth more than you do, and that really pisses you off, because you've been told that children are supposed to be seen and not heard. And so the fact that you're raising a child that's very empowered makes you feel disempowered sometimes. I know. And then you say, I would never be able to get away with that in my day. Okay, well, you should have been able to express yourself back in your day. So why is that a bad thing? You shouldn't be talking about it as if the child now that feels safe to express themselves is doing something wrong just because you did not feel safe to express yourself in the past. Don't you want people to feel safe, or do we want to continue and perpetuate cycles of children not feeling safe in their families? Which one is it? Wow. I love when I have a couple days off. Well, actually, I only have one day off. I went on Saturday and I didn't go Sunday because I was actually really tired. I realized like I gotta have more days to rest. This channeling and like this energy work really does take a toll. So the rest days I do need to rest. So yeah. I went on Saturday, so then I didn't go on Sunday, but normally I like doing Sundays. So I don't know if I'll be able to do this Sunday. I have to see what my schedule is. But I will be here Monday through Thursday if you like it. If you like this coaching, if I'm speaking to you, I will be here Monday through Thursday at 6:30 to 6:45-ish a.m. And I'll be on here doing sound healings. We're going to do some breath work, and we do our channel messages. Sometimes the messages are from me. Sometimes they're from spirit, and it's to me as well. Sometimes I share what's going on with me personally, and that's the medicine. I've found that no matter what it is, as long as you're speaking your truth, that's medicinal. As long as you're being true in your emotions and expressing yourself honestly, that's medicinal. You know, I feel really good, and I've alleviated a lot of anxiety in my life when I became more brave to just show up authentically with where I'm at. I feel, and I've recognized that a lot of the anxiety came to me, and I felt very anxious when I felt like I had to lie and pretend to be somebody that I wasn't. That's when I would feel the most anxious. I felt like if I couldn't speak my truth and be honest, or I had to like play a character, and or I had to pretend that I was happy when I was sad. Those are the things that really bring me a lot of anxiety. And so then I realized, oh, I'm doing this to myself. I don't have to stay quiet. I don't have to pretend. I'm allowed to show the emotions. I just have to get comfortable with how people perceive me. I need to get comfortable with not caring how people perceive me. That is the block. It wasn't the block that I can't show my emotions. I just feel like I can't because I care too much about what you guys thought. And as soon as I stopped caring about what you guys thought, then I felt more free to express myself more authentically, which made me less anxious. The anxiety came from feeling like I needed to perform. The anxiety came from feeling like I needed to wear a mask because my spirit and my inner child didn't want to wear a mask anymore. I made a promise in 2021 to always honor my inner child and to never make her feel like I'm ashamed of her anymore. And so I had to work through all the shame that I felt within myself. I had to own that I did feel shame about certain things and certain aspects of my character before I could start healing it. The first step is to become aware of how you feel. You can't heal what you're not aware of. A lot of us walking around don't even know how shameful we feel about certain things because we suppress it and we push it down, and then we project that shame onto other people. And that's where you start to realize I'm phony. I'm sitting here shaming somebody for cheating, and I've cheated on people in the past. I'm phony. You start to realize I'm a phony person. I'm shaming somebody for cheating, but deep down, I'm remembering that I cheated on somebody in college. I'm phony. What other way can you put it? Stop being phony. You realize it. You don't like that. That's your character. Who are you when no one's watching? I don't know that you cheated on somebody in college, but you know. And so the fact that you're projecting and making this person feel bad when you've done it shows that you are not okay with yourself. That's what it shows. It shows that you don't like parts of you, and you can't own that. You're too scared to own it, and you care how people perceive you, so you don't want to be looked at as a cheater in society. But then you're sitting here pointing the finger and shaming people when you've done it. Jumping on the bandwagon and bonding with people over negativity when you've done it. You feel like a fraud. And the more that you wake up and the more that you become aware, the more that you feel weird in the conversation. And that's when you see people, you know what I realized? Look, tell me if I'm off here. Sometimes people are just daydreaming, right? Sometimes we're just daydreaming. But you know when you have a deep conversation with somebody and damn, you just say something and you realize that it's about you. It's about you. Even if no one else knows, it's about you. And then you have those people, they go like after the conversation, they're kind of like this. And then they say, hey, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, let's go. That's that deep thought. That's the connection. When you just said it, oh yeah, people who cheat are fucked up. And then all of a sudden the awareness kicks in and it pulls from that thing. Well, you cheated back in the day. That connection, I think I'm fucked up. Oh, I don't want anybody to know that though. Boom, 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 boom. The more you start to become aware, the more that you start to open up those depths, the more that you start to be real about who you are, the more those contradictions will start to feel like, the more that projection will start to become more aware. You'll start to become aware of the things about yourself that you've projected your whole life that you have not come to terms with. And you see how you've taken opportunities where you could have related with people in their pain, and you made that subconscious choice to tear them down because you were not okay with your own pain yet. So when someone is trying to be honest about who they are, they're met with criticism because you're still not honest about who you are. Instead of you using that opportunity to relate to someone and make people feel less alone because you have not come to terms with that, you may be the person that makes them feel even more like shit because that's how you feel about yourself. and you have not come to terms and you're not brave enough to sit there and speak about your shadows in the light. And so sometimes when people start speaking about their shadows in the light and you have the same shadows, you want them to shut up because it's making you uncomfortable. Because you do it too. And you act like this too. But you're not brave enough to be honest about it. You're not secure in yourself enough to be real about it yet. So you try to make other people feel insecure how you feel by shaming them and pointing the finger. But you can't do that with somebody who's already made peace with it. You can't do that to somebody who's already okay with where they're at. You can't do that to somebody who's already sat and taken accountability and has made a conscious choice to love themselves anyway, despite the things that they've been through, despite the things that they've done. They know that they have the ability to change, whether people want to believe that or not. Some people who have cheated in the past, they're always going to be a cheater, no matter how much work they've done, no matter how much they've changed, no matter how much they've taken accountability. Some people will always see you as a cheater, and that's okay. Those are not your people. But when you can get honest with why you did it, and that you were insecure, or you didn't know how to use your words, or you felt like this, or you saw your dad doing it, or because you saw your dad or your mom constantly cheat growing up, it really made you not believe in true love because you saw the lies happening in your house. People don't understand how children witnessing this shit really does have a big ass impact on their ability to connect to people. You don't have to hit the child or do anything. The child can just be in the room witnessing this, and that's how they're learning what love is. Love is sneaky. Love is lying. Love is manipulation. And some parents actually ask their children to be involved in it. So now they feel like now I'm a part of lying. And so they feel this deep guilt that they've known that mom has been cheating on dad for 20 years. And you've implicated your child to keep a secret for you that they have no business keeping. Some of us have been through that and lived that life, and the anxiety around having to keep that secret because dad's going to be upset or the whole family's going to be ruined. They make you feel that way. The little 5-year-old is going to ruin the family if anybody finds out, when really it's their actions that are ruining the family. But you see how they projected their own shame onto you, and you see how you're carrying that still as an adult, thinking that it's your fault when it's really the parent who manipulated you at 5 years old to keep a secret that you had no business knowing. And you've been living with that. Yes, once you acknowledge that, you are going to see your dad in a little bit different light. I'm sorry, the rose-colored glasses have to come off. Yes, the rose-colored glasses have to come off. You need to see your mom and dad as people, not just these heroes that you've built up in your head. They are humans, and they are capable of darkness, just like they are capable of light. And the sooner that you can see them as people, and not these expectations that you have on them to do everything right and be the mom that you wanted and be the dad that you wanted. And you can accept the fact that this is the cards that you were dealt. This is the hand that you were dealt. This is the mother that you have. This is the father that you have. They are not what you saw on TV in Family Matters. They are not what you saw in Full House. And guess what? The people that you saw in Full House were not even the people that you saw in Full House. They were playing a character too. Because if you look at all the insights on all these damn sitcoms and shows, you see all the abuse behind the scenes. Not even them. They were just portraying that. They didn't even live that life. We're all just looking at something that's not real. We're all just being manipulated. Having these expectations of what people are supposed to be and who people are supposed to. Who are they? Your dad is not supposed to be like Bill Cosby. And if I'm keeping it real, do you really want your dad to be like Bill Cosby? The real Bill Cosby? Look at it. It's all fake. It's all a facade. It's all an illusion. The sooner that you can get real with who you are, the more empathy and grace and understanding you will be able to have for other people. Because once you get clear that you have the ability to be hurtful, once you understand that you've been the hero in certain people's stories and you've also been the perpetrator, once you can understand that you have the capability to manipulate people, and you already have. People pleasing is a form of manipulation, an altruistic form of manipulation. People pleasing is a form of manipulation. So yes, you have manipulated people into thinking that you were somebody that you weren't because you wanted to gain their love and approval. You had an agenda, whether you were aware of it or not. Hate to break it to you. You got to stop seeing yourself as this fragmented version that you can do no wrong and that you're always perfect and that you never hurt anybody. You have hurt people. You have, even if you haven't been aware of it. The way that you've omitted certain things and the way that you don't tell people the truth because you don't want to hurt their feelings. And so you drag out shit because you're so scared of people's reaction. That is hurtful. Whether you know that your impact is hurtful or not, whether you want to see it in that way, you not being honest with people sooner, or you thinking that you are, or you saying yes when you really want to say no. And then when it's time to do the thing that you said yes about, that you really wanted to say no, now you're projecting your resentment towards yourself onto the person and making them feel like shit because you're doing something that you don't really want to do, but you're not brave enough to own it because you think that you have to jump through hoops in order to gain love. And now you can see that the resentment that you have when you abandon your own boundaries is the guilt that you feel because you don't have none. You're mad because you don't have boundaries, not because someone's asking you to cross them. Because you don't have to say yes. You know that, right? You know that you're allowed to say no. And however someone reacts to that has a lot to do with them. And if you're around people that are used to you always saying yes, it's time for them to reintroduce. It's time to reintroduce yourself and say, hey, I know I used to say yes all the time, but I'm in a season of honoring myself and being true to myself. And no, I don't want to do this today, and I don't need to explain why. Stop putting yourself in this position to feel like you always have to be writing out these dissertations all the fucking time. It feels annoying, and it also feels very juvenile sometimes to you to feel like you have to write out a whole 5-page dissertation on why you need to say no because you're so scared. You need to have reasons. I just don't want to. I don't want to. There is no reason. I'm not busy. I don't have anything else that I need to be doing. You're mad because you don't have boundaries, not because someone else is asking you to cross them. Yep. It's the truth. Because a lot of us didn't even know about boundaries until last year. 2 years ago, you didn't even know what a boundary was because you live in a house that definitely didn't have none, especially if you are Black or Latino or they don't have boundaries. There's no lock on the door. People just bust in the room. Your mom knows everything. They be listening on the phone. It was a very, very, very violation of boundaries. I know. And just those two ethnicities for sure. Woo! And if you grow, oh, man, and I'm not saying that ever, but just my experience, because I have both in my family. And so, yes, if you grew up in a Latino household or a Black household, what are boundaries, bitch? This is my house. Even when you find money, oh my God, I found money in my pocket. You didn't find no money in my house. Give me that money. Anything in here is mine. Damn. You know, like you did literally said, like you don't pay no bills to have an opinion. You don't have no bills to be having no boundary. Damn. So that shows you I have to add value in order to have worth. That's what that taught you. When your parents would use that rhetoric, when your parents would say that, it was a messaging that the only way that my boundaries can be respected or my boundaries are not worthy of being respected, but I have to do and I have to give. And so some of you might find that you're overgivers and you give people gifts and you do all these things because you were heard. You don't pay no bills in here to be having an opinion. You don't pay no bills in here to be having boundaries. You don't pay no bills in here to be having needs. And so now you overcompensate by buying people things and spending money when you shouldn't be spending money, especially in the beginning of relationships, because you want to feel valid. You want to be validated that, like, look at all the things, look at the money, look what I'm contributing to, look at all the stuff. So, I'm definitely worthy of doing this. Look what I do. And you can always tell when you're doing things for validation when that thing is not respected. You can always tell when you're doing something because you genuinely just want to do it and you really don't care about having any type of outcome versus you're doing things because you want the person to see how amazing you are. And then when they don't, AKA they break up with you, then all of a sudden, all the things that you've done for them to gain the validation start to come out. Oh my God, I cannot believe you're leaving me. I literally paid off your student loan and helped you with that. I have been there. When you didn't have the money, I did the groceries and I did all these things for you. And then you just up and leave me? It's crazy. It's crazy how you have this car. You wouldn't even have had this car if it wasn't for me. Who's the one who helped you with the down payment on the fucking car? Who helped you with the down payment? Me. And then you're just up and leaving me for someone else? Okay? Yeah. So when you have that dialogue and you see that, you can tell that you're doing it because you want the validation. Because why did all these things have to do with them staying? You did those things for them to stay. You did those things for them not to leave. Okay? Someone told me to seek therapy. I'm sure if you just came into my live while I was doing this, I would say the same thing, but there was no context behind when you just came in. So if you just came into my live and I'm doing a dialogue, I could see why you would tell me to seek therapy, but I'm actually coaching right now. I'm just very, very animated in the way that I coach because I love entertaining people. But yes, so yeah, you go into that. You go into it, okay? And it's because you are wanting you're wanting an outcome. There's an outcome, and you have to be honest about your intent on why you're doing things. Okay? You have to be honest about your intent on why you're doing things. Why are you paying off people's student loans? Why are you paying people's car? Why do you feel like that's something that is that something that you're really comfortable with? I feel like that's a boundary. Like, especially really early on with somebody and you feel a need that you have, if someone's asking you to pay off something and all this stuff, come on. It's a pattern of behavior that you're falling in that you're not even aware of. Okay? Also, it's just so interesting when people just come in and project or just judge or just say something right away. It's such in human nature now, our society, to see somebody and say I really was having a meltdown and the person just comes in, seek therapy. It's like, yo, why not be kind? Why? And not that that's not kind. People should seek therapy, but why not be like, hey, man, this person is really hurting. I've been dysregulated like this before. We've all been there. I've cried like this before. Is everything okay? I'm sending you love. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm really sending you love. I know what it feels like to be dysregulated and this and that. You know what I'm saying? We immediately just seek therapy. Seek therapy. It's just so interesting how humans treat each other now. It is. It's so interesting how humans we just don't want to be there for each other no more. We don't want to see people through these moments. It's uncomfortable. It's just like we just dismiss it because we dismiss ourselves. And I can tell when people really don't pay attention to themselves, when people really don't honor their emotions, that's what creates that really cold, numb person where they're just like, this person needs fucking therapy, not recognizing you are that person. You are that person. We all need therapy. Just because this person is brave enough or open enough or just can't hold it together anymore and they let loose with their emotions doesn't mean that it's anything wrong. They're usually mirroring back a version of yourself that needs to come out most often. And this is why people feel uncomfortable about it when they see people crying on the internet. It's because they need to cry in real life. And also, not only do they need to cry in real life, they actually need to be witnessed crying so they can stop hiding in the shadows. So this is why certain people get so annoyed. Oh, here we go. Someone crying on the internet. Yeah, it's because we need to show humanity and empathy again. We've gotten so used to being jokes and cussing people out and projecting our pain instead of just sitting in it. So yeah, more people do feel inclined to cry on the internet because we're so fucking numb. So yeah, there's a reason why people feel inclined to cry on the internet, and it's not just to gain attention. It is to gain the perspective that we all are like this, that we all need to cry, that we all need to start being more vocal and vulnerable and hiding in the shadows, that we need to stop pretending to be one person online and then behind the shadows you're insecure as fuck. Show the insecurities, talk about it, normalize it so that we can all stop projecting this shit and hurting each other. Yeah, that is a reason why people cry on the internet. It's valuable to see other people represent. Not only do we need representation in race, ethnicity, gender, we need representation in emotions. Representation matters, even emotionally. When you see people more brave enough to express their anger, it allows you to feel your anger. When you see people brave enough to cry, it makes you feel more brave to cry. When you see people being more goofy, it makes you feel like you can be more goofy. It does. Representation does matter. Authenticity is inspiring. Okay? So instead of shaming people for doing the things that you need to do, start doing them. Instead of shaming people and getting uncomfortable because someone is brave enough to feel a feeling that you're not brave enough to feel, start getting real about that. Instead of saying, ugh, why are they crying on the internet? Saying, man, say the truth. I wish I was brave enough to be that open and vulnerable. Okay? Okay. Thank you. I'm done with the shaming and I'm done with the projection. I'm definitely not the one, because I'm not going to meet you on the frequency and call you derogatory names just to hurt your feelings. I'm going to just speak the truth to you. So when someone is brave enough to show their ass to me, you better be brave enough for me to be honest with you articulately. I'm not going to call you anything out of your name, and I'm not going to do anything like that, but I am going to call out your mother wounds. I am going to call out your insecurities around women and why you feel the need to constantly degrade them. I am going to call out the insecurities that you have within your body because you have a full beer belly while you are simultaneously shaming this woman for being in the gym. I am going to call out that projection because a lot of people have let you get away with the fact that you look like the people that you're making fun of as a deterrent from the fact that you don't feel confident with yourself. But I do see you, and I'm not scared enough to be honest about what I see. You've had a lot of people around you that are yes men. You've had a lot of people around you that have not been honest with you. And that's by design, because you don't want the truth, because the truth hurts. But I do see you, and I do see that beer belly, and I do see the way that you're making fun of her beer belly, or her belly, and I see the similarities. But what I do see different is that she's in the gym working on it and you're just here running your mouth. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay? All right. We're not doing this anymore. I'm just going to hit you where you can't move. If I were to just talk about if I were to just cuss you out and say that you're a fat ass and you're this, what would make me any different? I'm just degrading you. But I really know that you're hurt and you have real big insecurities around women because your mom did not insecurely attach to you when you were younger. And she told you to man up and she hit you and she didn't do the things. And so now you have this deep, deep hatred and insecurity around women, even though you deeply want to connect. And you feel so insecure that you think it's your looks and your money and your jewelry that make you unlovable. But it's really not. It's the fact that you believe you're unlovable and you overcompensate with all these surface level just insecure things, and you think that people don't see through it, but they do. And then when people do see through it, you get upset and you try to spin the narrative over and over instead of looking in the mirror and acknowledging the fact that you are connecting with people on surface level shit. That's why you keep meeting surface level people. You flaunt your money and then you get a woman who is attracted to money and then you call her a gold digger. Stop, okay? It's fucking stupid. Stop. You're flashing that, so that's what you want. You're being surface level, so you're gonna get someone who's surface level. Because someone with depth is gonna see past the fact that you keep showing your Rolex. Someone with depth is gonna be able to understand that this is your proximity to yourself and how good you think you are. Someone with depth is gonna be able to see that you really aren't secure at all, and that if you were to go broke tomorrow, your confidence would go out the window. So that's why you're not looking for someone with depth. You're looking with someone who cares about your money, because that's what you think makes you lovable. Gosh, if more people could be honest with themselves, these stupid surface level fights would be over. Look in the mirror, bro. For real. Stop. Good, I love that, Lucy. Brenda, I love that. Hey, spirit sister. Hey, how you guys feeling? I feel like I've just been going. Please like the live. I love it. I think I'm restricted because I'm speaking the truth. That's why please make sure that you have my website, KristenUnderwood.com. Please make sure that you're following my, hi Anna. Please make sure that you follow my YouTube and my Instagram, because that's where I put more updates. I'm really not feeling the energy of TikTok anymore because of the censorship. So if you really are enjoying these lives, I go live 4 days a week because I really want to give back. You guys support me. You guys set up coaching calls. I will have a new 4-week mentorship starting again in February. Those of you that are in my January mentorship, you will get first dibs to continue on with me into February before I release it to the public. And so you guys already know that. But I will have probably about 3 spots open for February for those of you that want to work with me one-on-one, you're ready to elevate, you're ready to be real. You can see how I am. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be that best friend that's going to be real with you. This is why I'm not a licensed therapist. I am not a psychologist, because I needed to do it my way. All of this stuff is based on my experiences and the way that I've sat and processed these things over the years. I shared through just my own truth. So I'd like people to know that, but I'm not going to sit here and have you here for 5 years trying to understand that you have a mother wound. We're going to get to the issues, and I'm going to push you to make the changes. Most people find me when they're ready to take action and not sit here and intellectualize our trauma to death. It's time for you to make the things, rip the Band-Aid off, and I'm going to be that person to stand next to you and to reassure you and to hype you up when you forget or when you start to feel guilty about honoring yourself. I'm going to be the person saying nope, because why are you feeling guilty about honoring what you need? And why are you feeling guilty about your boundaries? You're allowed to have boundaries. You're allowed to have these needs. What you need to do is disconnect from the idea that every single person that you go on a date with has to be the person. And you need to be able to really stay in your frame and know that you're the main character in your movie, and stop being the best supporting actor in everybody else's. There's certain things that are non-negotiable, and I'm here to hold you accountable to that. I'm not going to sit here and let you continue to abandon yourself and then try to talk it in. I see through it. You can't do it with me. I see you. And that's why a lot of people hire me, is because they want to be seen, even if it's uncomfortable. They put themselves in an uncomfortable position by hiring me as a coach, because they know that I am not going to be that person that you can just run game on. Because some of you have learned to run game even with your therapist, because you even care about how your therapist is perceiving you instead of being honest about the issues. You still want the gold star that you did the homework right and that you did it, that you literally lie to your therapist sometimes, that you did things because you don't want to feel like a failure, or that you don't take their advice seriously. I see through that shit when you do it. I know when you didn't do the assignment. I know when you didn't do the homework, and I'm going to call you out on it, because stop saying that you want to change when you're not really willing to take action. I'm that coach. I'm not going to just take your money and say, oh yeah, I know this person didn't do the work. It's clear by the answers. I can tell that they haven't done it. But anyway, okay, next week, no, I'm going to say, okay, I still want you to do this homework. It's okay that you're having a hard time and you may feel some resistance. It's very normal when it's time for us to try to do things to level up that we have resistance. That's going to be our ego holding on to what's comfortable, to what's familiar. So I'm here to say, I have the light already. I already have the lantern. I am already paving the way through my own truth, but I want you to figure out your own, but you're not completely in the dark. I'm here. So the things that you're experiencing and the things that you're going to go through, I'll be able to provide some insight to let you know this is totally normal what you're feeling. It's totally normal for you to be super, super emotional after one of my sessions. It's totally normal for things to start really drastically changing and shifting in your life after we create sacred spaces for your inner child to finally feel seen and heard. Once you open it up, your inner child's like, oh, word? Your inner child's like, oh, we're going there? Oh, your inner child's like, oh, you're finally creating space for us to talk about this shit. Oh, we actually can be honest about how we feel about dad. We don't have to kiss people's ass no more. We actually can be honest about the anger that we have towards mom. We don't have to be codependent and always be tiptoeing around because mom's going to fall out every time that we speak our truth. You mean this is a space where I can actually let it out without having to feel guilty? Yeah, because you thought that you had to do it with your mom. You thought that you had to do it with your dad. No, you don't need to do it with them. You have to do it independent of them, because you're expecting them to grow and change with you. And you've been trying to get them to change for like 30 years, babe. Your parents are who they are, and they're going to wake up when they want to. But the biggest way to enact change in other people is to be the change for yourself. People respond more to the actual tangible results than you just talking about how good it is. If you guys didn't see me actually working and living in my purpose, and I'm still at my 9 to 5, 6 years later, you would not really have that much faith in what I'm saying. You would start to say, hey, Kristen, you've been talking about taking the leap of faith and quitting corporate America for 6 years. Why haven't you done it? And maybe I'll tell you, kiss my ass. I'm still working on it. It takes the time it takes. But I'm not. I've done it. I did it, because there is a point where you can't get past without having the 40 hours. You need the 40 hours to create the business, babe. Let's move into the corporate part. Let's move into the people, because as we're getting into it, it's 8:45. It's about to be that 9 o'clock hour. So let's talk about the corporate stuff. Let's talk about the career stuff. We've shifted from the inner child stuff. So now let's shift into the dreams and desires and how we get there. Let's talk about how much these 40 hours are literally draining the fuck out of you. Let's talk about how you're becoming more aware to how you can't stand what you're doing. Let's talk about how you thought you wanted to climb this ladder and you were over here bushy, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and before you knew the truth. And let's talk about how you're looking and seeing the truth of these corporations more and more. And do you really want to work for a company, even if they are paying you $200K a year? Do you really want to work for a company where you know that your labor is being, I don't got to say it, your integrity, your character, The energy of where you're working matters. You think you're going to thrive in a corporation that is committed to keeping you stuck? Just because you work for the enemy doesn't mean that you're a part of the club. You're a pawn. And I had to tell myself that because I kept working for these banks. And I'm like, listen here, I'm over here looking for anti-money laundering while working for the biggest launderers. This shit is crazy. What the fuck am I doing? I'm over here looking at doing casework and trying to catch the bad guys while working for the ultimate bad guy. I had to get real with the fuck. What am I doing? I had to stop playing this game and drinking the Kool-Aid, bitch. I'm over here trying to look for money laundering while they're literally laundering the money out of my check right now as we speak. I'm looking for who over. Let me look for the money laundering. Let me look for it while they're literally laundering my motherfucking money to Israel. What the fuck? What you talking about, bitch? What? I had to wake up and say stop. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. You know better. So do better. And that's what I told myself. And that's when I handed in the 2 weeks and I said, okay, instead of using my vacation time to go spend money that I don't have and go distract myself, I'm going to take the week off that I normally would go to Europe and I'm going to stay my ass right here and I'm going to study from 6 in the morning until midnight to get my personal training. And I did. I took the week off and everybody said, where are you going? You're not coming? I said, no, I'm taking this week off because I need these 40 hours. This 40 hours is what's fucking me up. This 40 hours is why I can't get ahead. This 40 hours is why I can't build my business. This 40 hours is why I can't do the shit I need to do. So yeah, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to take the paid 40-hour vacation and I'm going to study because I know that this investment is going to get me further. And guess what? Here I am, 8 years, 6 years. I don't even know how many years it is. I'm here 8 years later with that investment that I made that everyone said, you're crazy. I would never take my vacation time to just sit at home. I would be out here. Okay, fine. I'm going to be out in Europe way more than you when I actually am making the money that allows me to thrive. And I'm not going to have to do it 2 weeks out of the motherfucking year because I want to travel 5 months out of the year. But guess what? That corporate structure doesn't allow me to do that. And I don't want the limitations to be how much I can travel based on them. I want to make my own fucking rules. So yes, I'm going to take a week off and I'm going to use that money to keep paying my bills while I study because I know that getting this license is going to get me further ahead in life. That's the sacrifice I'm talking about that a lot of people are not willing to do. You got to be laser focused on this shit. You got to decide and act. Stop ruminating in the raptors. No, make a decision. And you can change it later. You don't have to stay on the same path. But whatever you feel confident in right now, you got to attack. Because this energy of inspiration and motivation is fleeting sometimes, and you know it. You know that there's some chapters that you go a whole fucking year and don't even feel inspired to do shit. So when you're finally feeling it and you're like, nah, fuck this. Use your anger as the catalyst. That's why some of you have not moved on because you're not angry enough. This is why some of you have not made changes because your anger is still suppressed and you think that your anger makes you bad. You think especially women, you think that your anger makes you less desirable. You think that your anger makes you ugly. But your anger actually is a barometer of where you're not happy. Your anger is actually a barometer of where people are crossing your boundaries that you may not have set yet. Your anger is actually the catalyst to you be so angry that you fucking change. I'm so angry with the fact that I'm being undervalued. I'm so angry that I'm being gaslit in these jobs. I'm so angry that we keep getting slices of pizza as compensation for working all these fucking hours. I'm so angry that they don't care about, my kids, that they think that building a daycare on the property is doing something. No, they want you to have a place where you don't have to leave this motherfucker. You think that having a gym at your work is they care about you. No, they want you to go to the gym real quick and get your ass back at that desk. They don't want you to have work-life balance, so they're bringing this perceived balance to the workplace. Don't get it twisted. You get so excited because your corporation has a nice fancy gym and it has a doctor's office and it has a nice cafe. No, it's because they don't want you to leave that bitch. That's why. They want you to stay there as much as you can. For 40 hours. But get paid for 40. You better wake up. The goal is not for you to outgrow them and go do your own thing. The goal is to give you just enough and to keep you with just enough hope that this next promotion you'll be able to actually fucking take a vacation that you want. Just enough that if I keep working harder, this next promotion I'll be able to. So you just keep working your ass off and you will happily work 60 hours because in the beginning when you're drinking the Kool-Aid, you think, yeah, no, this is what you got to do to put in. You got to put in the work. No, you got to be exploited. You got to be exploited to get where you need to go. You got to deny your integrity to get to where you want to go. You got to see that things behind the scenes are not being done correctly. And then when you bring it to your manager, they say, shut up. And you got to just overlook that shit. You gotta overlook how people have all these damn interpersonal romantic relationships all over the place, managers hooking up with employees and all this shit, and you gotta overlook that. Nah. It's a game. It's a game. And some people play it really well. And I wasn't one of those people. I got fired for not overlooking racism in 2020 or in 2019, and I sued them. You heard me? I got fired for not overlooking racism in the workplace in 2019, and I sued them. It was how I was able to start my business. I have a voice and I matter. And you think that you can just fire me and fuck up my livelihood because you don't like that I'm holding you accountable for saying the N-word? You're gonna pay for my livelihood for the next couple of years. Thank you. You gotta stand up for who you are, and you gotta let people know you're not gonna get away with this shit. So you wanna fire me? Okay. You're going to compensate me too. People just don't think you're going to do it. People just don't think that you're going to go through the trouble. People don't think that you believe in yourself enough and that you see the worth in yourself enough to actually do something. So that's why a lot of people get away with abusing and exploiting people because they don't have the money or they don't think that they're enough or da-da-da-da-da. Yep, it was on contingency, babe. I was in California at the time, and with California, they're very strict with employee laws. That's why it was crazy that they did that. But I called, and when I found somebody that resonated, and it took me like calling 6 people, and I ended up finding someone who was a minority because I just didn't feel like the white lawyers that I called really understood me. And so I found someone who has lived it, who has felt it, who really could put their own experiences into it. And I didn't pay a dime out of pocket, nothing. And he represented, and because it happened around COVID, I had to wait like a year and a half for the courts to open. And I said, nope, I'm not dropping it. We gonna wait till the courts open, bitch. I don't care if this shit doesn't happen until 2026. I know that I was wrongfully terminated, and you guys tried me, and you think that just even time, I'm gonna let it go. I'm not letting shit go. It's not about the money. I'm making great money right now. It's about the principle and the fact that you thought you could take away my livelihood because I spoke up on something that was objectively wrong. That's why I'm doing it. Because I'm going to teach you a lesson that it's expensive for you to be racist. At least with me. At least with me. Your racism cost you. Hi, Dono Spire. I see you. Hey, Dono Spire. I said, I see you. Hey, you said, hey. You said, hey, hey. You said, hey, hey, hey. And so I'm saying, hey back. I see you. You guys, how are we feeling? How are we doing? I feel like I'm just going. I don't even know what the fuck. I don't know. I'm just jumping from topic to topic. But this corporate America shit, you gotta wake up. I know it's daunting. Okay? I know it's daunting to think about doing something different because you've been so conditioned to depend on plan B, depend on plan B. Whenever you wanted to do music when you were younger, or whenever you wanted to write a book, you didn't have nobody supporting you. You used to write awesome art, but you didn't have parents that were engaged. There was no parents that were engaged when you were growing up. And that's why you get so emotional when you see little kids that are so talented on this app where you're like, oh my God, they're only 6 years old playing the drums like that. But it really like hurts a little bit with your inner child because you realize, damn, I didn't get that support. I didn't get that attention. Who knows what kind of writer I could have been if people would have paid attention, that I could write at a young age, that I had such a lively imagination. And like I did write a book and I showed my mom and she was just too busy and too, engulfed in trying to keep a food and a roof over her head. So I understand. So she was kind of like, yeah, that's cool. But I really needed a parent to be like, oh my God, babe, you wrote a book? Wait a second. I mean, I did. But oh my God, wait a second. Let me see this. You wrote this. You illustrated this. And then you see the kid like, no. Kristen, stop. No, we got to make a deal. I needed my mom to do that and get on the phone. Larry, call my dad. Larry, Did you see the book that she wrote? And then I'm sitting here. This is how, if I could rewrite it, this is what I needed. If I could rewrite my history, this is what happened. And my mom, did you see this? She wrote this book. Oh my God. I got to show people this. We got to talk about, okay. The money's tight right now, but we got to figure out if we can get you in some creative writing classes. This is amazing. This is great. You're only in 5th grade. Where did you get this idea? Well, it's because I love the Goosebump books. I love reading the Goosebump books, and I love the Goosebump books. That's what I would say. You see what I'm saying? Look how it could have been different. Even if my mom didn't have the money to put me in the classes, just the fact that she believed in me that much, I would be like, damn, okay, well, shit. That would go a long way. It goes a long way. And look, it didn't stop me. 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 It just maybe delayed it a little bit. It didn't stop me. And thank you, Andrew. I see your love. I see your comments. I see you show up all the time. I just want you to see that I see your stuff and I see the things, and I love you and I appreciate you and I love your energy here. I literally get excited when I see you pop up because you've been so consistent, and so I appreciate you. Actually, let me do this real quick too, if you wouldn't mind, if since you're here. Oh, okay. Andrew, I was going to see if you wanted to be a moderator sometimes. Don't feel pressure that you have to come in every day, but you are here so consistently, and I really appreciate your energy. So if you would like to be a moderator and help sometimes when you see crazy stuff, not that it really happens that much anymore, actually, but if you'd like to be one, let me know. But anyway, it didn't stop me. It didn't stop me, okay? But I think that things would have been different, and I think that I would have probably written something sooner if I would have had that support. Okay? So, no, but I love it. But yeah, so but you see that even though I didn't get that support, did it stop me? So you can see that you can grow up in a really supportive household and people push you and you still not have that within yourself. And so it all comes down to yourself. And even though I thought I was supposed to be climbing the corporate ladder, I quickly woke up after 10 years of climbing the corporate ladder in banking. I was just like, girl, you are too goofy and too like energetic. You need to be doing something where you can move. You got ADHD. Why did you think that you're going to be sitting behind a desk doing something that you don't care about? This shit is boring. You're literally falling asleep. Like, stop. It was exciting at first. You're good at different things. And a lot of you guys need to discern between the fact that you are very talented, you are very smart, and that you can be good at a lot of different things, but it's different being good at something and being passionate about something. So now you need to decide, do you want to be just good at something, or do you want to be passionate about what you do? Do you want to just be good at what you do because you can learn skill set because you're incredibly intelligent, or do you want to be passionate about what you do and good at it? Because I feel like I'm very good at what I do and I'm very passionate, and I feel like I've hit the lotto when it comes to careers. I really do. I feel like I've hit the jackpot when it comes to careers. I am so passionate about this. I would not be getting up here waking up at 5 a.m. on my own for no reason. No one's making me. I choose to do this because I love it. And so I would not be doing this if I wasn't passionate. And I know that I'm very good at it. I know that the way that I articulate and the way that I'm able to speak to you guys makes you feel a certain way. I know that I'm able to speak and formulate words that maybe you haven't taken the time to process yet. You can get these words on your own, but it takes time. And I have had the time, and not because I'm spending my time more, but I had different opportunities and I had different moments in life. Like, for example, suing that company allowed me to not have to work for a 9-to-5 for 2 years. Suing that company allowed me to live off the money and build my business. Not all of you guys have had that opportunity. Not all of you guys have had that, and I'm aware of that. I'm very privileged, even though it took pain and me getting fired and then me standing up. It's a privilege that I had that, right? Since I had the time to sit and you guys didn't, this is why I show up, because we're one and I love you guys and we're connected, and I'm not going to gatekeep. And I understand that I had certain opportunities that maybe some of you guys didn't have to do this work. It takes time and effort. You can't just sit here and do this all day. You got to make the bills. You can't just be falling out and depressed. So I understand why some of you don't go deep into it, because you're like, I literally have a family to take care of. I can't afford to literally be sitting here depressed in the bed. But guess what? Because I had that lump sum, I could afford to be depressed and lay in the bed. And so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to share with you and try to help you get as far along as you can while still trying to stay afloat and try to help you, so maybe that you can do this healing work in between and not have to like be out completely. But like if I show up here every day, maybe this is some little therapy that you can get that can help move you along a little bit faster than if I wasn't. That's what I feel. Me showing up and just sharing these things, no money, no nothing. All you have to do is just show up here and listen. I feel like is helping a lot of people. And I've heard from you guys that over the last 4 years that I've been consistently doing this, that I have helped you move along your journey, and I have helped you wake up to things a little bit sooner so that you can get in a healthier position. And that's why I'm doing it. Like there's no, I mean, other than building my business still and letting you guys know if you want to work deeper with me, the main reason is just because I genuinely want to help. I genuinely want to see you guys actually happy. And I also know, and it's not selfish, but I know that if you're more happy, it's going to make me more happy collectively. I know this. I know that if you're more happy and you're in alignment, that more and more people will get into alignment, because me getting in alignment is helping you get into alignment. Is it not? Me being in my alignment, me being in my purpose is helping you get more in alignment, right? It's a ripple effect. So that's why you doing what you need to do, and you showing up, and you like showing who you need to be is going to help other people. The same way that I'm just this random spirit guide, this random person that popped up that you've been following that's helped you on your journey. There'll soon be a point where you'll evolve past what I'm saying. There'll soon be a point where you'll no longer need me to tell you the things, because you're so connected to yourself and you're so connected to source again that you don't even need that guidance outside of yourself until you do. And then sometimes, and you'll be super connected with yourself, and you'll have your own intuition. You'll have your own, you already do, but you'll start listening to it more is what I mean. And you won't need my videos to help you know. My videos will just simply be a confirmation, as they often are now. And then there'll be a point where you will stop watching me and you'll stop following me or whatever. And that's good. It's because you're out living and doing it. But then there may be a point where you're like, damn, ooh, I feel like I fell off again, or I feel like I'm back, because it's not cyclical. It's not linear. It's cyclical. And then I'll still be here. And then maybe we'll be simultaneously going through the same thing in life, and we'll reconnect again. And you'll be like, damn, I didn't follow Kristen for a while, and now I'm back and she's going through the same shit. That's crazy. It's energetic. It's not crazy. It's divine. We're meant to walk and hold hands together during the journey at some parts, and then there's some parts where we're supposed to let go. And then we actually do what we learn. And I think it's very metaphorical to how parents have to let their kids go. You know, parents get so scared of their children leaving the nest, and like, oh my God, are they going to drive? Are they gonna do? But you have to trust that your parenting is going to instill this. That's the whole point. You're preparing them to be without you, literally. You're preparing them to be without you, even when you have to move away, and even when they pass away. You're preparing them to get through this world because you have the experience and the foresight, and you want to prepare them from a place of truth, not fear. You want to let them know, hey, this is how the world is, but also these are the choices that you have too. Here's objectively what you're going to experience in certain things through my perspective, but not limited to. But also I want you to be prepared to stand up to that and also stand in your truth. There's going to be people who try to tell you who you are, but I want you to be who you are, regardless of that. And I can't teach you that by being a parent who's also simultaneously trying to tell you who you are. You see what it says? Some parents try to empower their children to be who they are in the real world, but in under this roof, you got to listen to me. What? What the hell? So you're saying you want me to take the advice except when it comes to you? Raise your hand if that makes sense. Put a heart in the chat if you've been in, if that's an environment that you've been in where your parents do empower you, but then when you try to use that same ideology on them, you're being disrespectful. Have your own mind until it comes to me, baby. Have your own mind with everybody else, but when it comes to me, I control you, and I know you better than anybody. I started seeing that with my dad. I'm like, you told me to have my own mind, but then when I try to tell you shit from my own mind, you tell me that you're no more than me. You tell me that it's not the truth. So you want me to have my own mind with everyone else but you. You want to control me. That control of the perception of how I see you makes you really comfortable. I get it now. So you really want to control the narrative all the time because you deeply want me to see you in a certain light, because you don't want me to see you in your shortcomings and your shadows. Got it. I got you, Dad. I'm picking up what you're putting down now. I got you. I got you. I understand ya. I got ya. You see? You just get it. All right. So you guys, just to let you know, I wrote a book in 2024. It came out on 10/10. And I would like to, it's like a book that you can just like pick a page in a page. And I think that you can resonate or maybe don't. But it's like kind of like a card deck, but a book. So let's see what you guys need to hear from the book. Not that it's probably going to be something in alignment with what I've been talking about right now. I love that. It always happens. Let's see. What do they need to hear? Wait, let's clear the energy. Okay, page 51. Page 51, let's see. Stop running from your triggers and dissect them. They will keep coming back until you do. Who needs to dissect some triggers? Who runs away from their trigger? Put a heart in the chat if you try to get out of your trigger as soon as possible instead of sitting in it. Put a heart in the chat if when you get triggered, you immediately go to some form of escapism. Put a heart in the chat if you try to avoid your triggers. Put a heart in the chat if you black out and you have a very big reaction from your trigger, but then when you calm down, you don't want to talk about it. But the hearts just keep coming. Why the hearts keep coming? Damn. Why all y'all telling me? All y'all are telling me that you're avoidant. All y'all are telling me that you don't like the triggers. You don't like to feel. That's what you're telling me right now, that you only want to feel good feelings. That's what you're telling me right now, that you are denying certain parts of yourself. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me that you don't remain present. You're telling me that you dissociate whenever you get triggered and your nervous system doesn't know how to regulate. You're telling me that you're uncomfortable and unable to make rational decisions sometimes when you get triggered. So you have to stop running from the triggers and you have to try to remain present in them. Because some of you, when you get triggered emotionally, you start going through a spiral of word diarrhea. You do. And see, this is what you just start going down these spirals. Take some deep breaths. This is where we have to implement the tools between the trigger versus the reaction or response. That space in between is what we have to create. When someone is triggering you, we have to immediately start to divert into healthier tools and not the maladaptive ways of dissociation. Okay? So when you start feeling triggered, that's when we have to implement that breath work. When you start feeling triggered, that's when we have to implement that meditation. When you start feeling triggered, that's when we need to move it out. That anxiety that takes over your body when someone is telling you something that is so heartbreaking. That anxiety that you feel when you're on the phone call and the person's saying, hey, you know what? I didn't want to get to this point, but I've met somebody else. That overwhelming abandonment that you feel in that moment where your whole world is crashing down because the lifeline is being ripped away in seconds and your nervous system is feeling so unsafe now and your nervous system is feeling so dysregulated and everything in your body and your nervous system is telling you to beg. Right now, put a heart in the chat. Let's get vulnerable. Someone is disconnecting and breaking up with you and everything in your body, it starts to feel dysregulated and all you want is to not have that connection severed. So you do something that may be really out of character or really something that is like not prideful or something that you may be ashamed of and you say, please don't leave me. Please, you can't do this. You can't do this, please. Please. Like, you start going down a spiral and then that also is just making the person see like, oh my gosh, like this is actually really intense. Like, this person is going to like do something crazy if I break up. And then maybe they say, okay, never mind. We can stay together. I don't want you to hurt yourself because I do care about you, but I don't want to feel responsible for your life now. Like I can't live without you. Seriously, if you do this, I'm gonna die. we say these things because it does feel like it. When someone is triggering you, that abandonment wound is so deep, you genuinely do feel like you're going to die. And so you may say things that you really don't mean, but it's shedding a different story on the true unstableness. And that part you really don't want people to see. You don't want people to know. You don't want people to know how unstable you are. But like the more you become aware and you listen to yourself, you're like, yo, I'm literally threatening my life because this person wants to break up with me. So what you're saying is that the person is staying with you because they want you to physically stay alive. The person's staying with you because they're so scared that they're staying with you because they feel like they have to keep you alive. That's what you want. That's what you want. You want someone to choose you under those circumstances. I don't think so. I think you want someone to choose you because they genuinely want to. Not because they're scared of you taking your life. And if that's where you're at, it's not to shame you. But we do need to go deeper into the healing if that's where you're at and that's what you really feel. It is time to say, I need some help. It is time to say, I can't handle this on my own. I'm overwhelmed with these emotions, and these emotions are beyond me right now, and I need someone to help me process this. It's okay to put your hand up and say, I can't do it alone right now. I'm having a hard time. I either dissociate and don't look at it at all and just compartmentalize shit, or I get so overwhelmed that like I can't even function. So yeah, we got to find that in between. We got to find that balance. Okay. So yeah, let's see what another one. Stop running from your triggers and dissect them. But you see how just that one thought just went so deep? This is why I love my book. That one thought just went so deep because the work is not for me to tell you. The work for me is to find something that you resonate with, like this thought, this punchline, this truth that you're running from. And then it's your job to work backwards and kind of understand why this resonates with you. This book is not to tell you, here's what to do. Here, no, because there's several different paths and ways to heal. There's several different things that people need. So I couldn't possibly tell you individually what you need to do. But I can write these thoughts and I can write these things that have really helped me. And if they resonate with you, it's going to force you to go deeper. It's just inevitable because you can't unread it. You can't unsee it. So when you see something and you're just like, oh shit, that's me. You then create the possibility of change, because if someone could be aware enough to write this book and they're changing, then maybe just the whole reason why I've been stuck is my inability to acknowledge the shit in the first place. The reason why I'm stuck is not because I'm inherently wrong or bad or fucked up. The reason why I'm stuck is because I didn't even know I was doing this shit. Oh my gosh. So now if you tell me I'm doing it and you're already showing me that there's solutions, oh my God, I feel so much better. I thought I was inherently just insecure. I thought I was inherently just this angry, crazy person. I thought this was just who I was and I had no ability to change. I thought it was just a flaw, a fundamental flaw. That's what shame often is. Shame often comes from people feeling like they're fundamentally flawed. And when you're fundamentally flawed, that means that there's no change. So this is why I'm so depressed, because this is just who I am. No, it's not. You think that, but you're just too scared to acknowledge the shame in order to fix it. You can't even acknowledge the shame because you're so scared of that. You're scared of the awareness because you're scared of the fact that you may not be able to love what you find. You may not be able to accept what you find. So that's why you play dumb and stay ignorant. And you don't want to hear the truth, and you push people away that try to tell you about yourself because it doesn't feel good. And you think that every relationship is supposed to feel good. No, it's not. Some of the people who love you the most are the people who are willing to hurt your feelings, period. Some of the people who love you the most are people who are willing to hurt your feelings, and not maliciously, but because the truth hurts sometimes. But they're willing to be honest with you because you're the elephant in the room. And they don't want you to be the elephant no more. You're the elephant in the room. With love. Okay? Oh, my butt hurts. Let me stand up, actually. This leg, I still can't fully flex my knee, so I'm having to like sit with it extended all the time, and then it really puts a lot of pressure at the end of my hamstring. Like my hamstring is just so fatigued from constantly having to stay in a extended position. Oh, I fell running at 5 a.m. Oh, Lord. Oh, let me stretch it out. 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 Hey, let me stretch it out. We need to get up mode. See, this is the point in corporate America when I would start getting up and walking around. Okay? What is it? It's 9:19, which is tattooed on me. 9:19 is a special day. But 19 minutes into my shift, I'd already be walking around already, you guys. I would sit down and I would log in, and then I would just turn on everything, and then I want to go greet everybody, and I want to go talk, and I want to go be social. I don't want to sit here and just be quiet and just not even know the people I'm working with. I want to talk. Woo! Wow. I need to stretch. Ooh, my legs. Ugh. Stretch it out. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get back into yoga. Stretch the hips out. Going to the gym today. I can't do lower body really because my knee, if you can't see, I have a little scratch. It's still healing. I still have a lot of, it's going to fall off. But I'm going to go to the gym today. We're doing upper body. We're going to do some lat pull downs. We're going to do some bicep curls. Maybe I don't know if I'm going to do a push day or a pull day, or if I'm going to break it up. I may do push and pull upper body, but I definitely am just going to try to do some stretching on the lower body because I can't. This is about as much as I can flex this knee right now. Like, I can't even go to parallel, I don't think. Yeah, I can't even go to parallel. So I'm not going to load any weight or do anything. I'm just going to have to just slowly get myself back into there. Okay, I feel better. Hi from Ireland. Hi. I loved Ireland. I loved it when I went there. Yoga with Vinny. I love that. Hi, Vinny. Okay, you guys, so let's do a few cards. Oh, wait, we'll pick one more from my book, and then we'll do a few more cards. Okay, so if you guys want to check out my book or support me, the link is on my website. Okay. Ooh, page 52. Page 52. All right, let's see what page 52 has to say. You're hyperfixated on their visions and dreams as a distraction from your own. You believe more in them than you. You're hyperfixated on their visions and dreams as a distraction from your own. You believe more in them than you. And then I wrote a journal to help you process. Okay, so ways that you can start going deeper if you don't want to do one-on-one. I have the book and the journal that you can start working on. It's a great tool to use as kind of like a workbook and exercise. I have monthly workshops, and the next one is on January 31st. It's $25, and we go deep into shadow work. My intention is to help you identify what shadows that you're currently needing to work through right now, to help you identify what your shadows actually are, and to give you the 5 steps on how to actually integrate them and how to do this work on your own, because you can. I also have a 4-week mentorship that's going to be starting in February, the 1st or 2nd week in February. I'll have the date soon. I have my January mentorship that is closing out, but some people in January are going to transfer to February. So if you wanted to work with me one-on-one, that is a great offer that I'm having right now. And you could always just book a one-on-one call or a 45-minute in-depth reading. We're going to pick a few cards here in a second. If you didn't know, I also channel and use oracle cards. I use about 6 different decks. I love it. And so let's do a little collective reading on here. But those are the ways that you can work with me this month. The workshops are awesome. It's a great way for people who are ready to start speaking their truth, but they want a safer container, a more smaller container. But it's a great place for people to really heal through speaking their truth. You'd be really surprised. You'd be really surprised at how much you can heal just from being witnessed. Sometimes it's not enough just to keep it to yourself. Sometimes we need to be witnessed because we're trying to break through the fear of being seen. And so it's really hard to break through the fear of being seen by always being by yourself when you have these revelations, or always being by yourself when you have these breakthroughs. Like, it's time to actually share these things. And you know it. I'm not telling you something that you don't know. It's time for you to share these things. You want people to know more about your life. Hey, Kristen, do you do yes or no? Yeah. All right, but let's just see collectively where we're at. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you so much for sharing it. Thank you so much for your gifts and your engagement and all the different things. I really love being here with you guys. It really sets the tone for my day. Oh, and by the way, I have to let you guys know, I don't know if I told you guys that I had a job interview because I needed more structure and I was feeling so like depressed not having people around, that I did get a little 20-hour job. I did get a little 20-hour job, and it's more so I just feel like I need to be in a place where I'm meeting more people on a daily basis. And it also is going to help me pay down some of my debt. I've really gotten myself in a position. And those who ask the yes or no, right now, the personal readings I do, I actually charge, it's $20 for 7 minutes. So I'll do that, but I'm just doing a free collective reading right now. But the yes or no questions, that is in like my little mini readings. So I just wanted to let you know that. But yeah, I got the job. Literally, I told myself, what if I told you guys? I'm like, if I ever get to a point where it's like I have to do something to keep myself afloat while I keep building my dreams, I'm not too proud to do that. I'm not above that. And so I did, but I did find something that I actually enjoy. And some of y'all are going to be like, now, Kristen, now you say you want, now I don't know if this is the best place for you to be working because you said you want to take a tea break. You said you want to take a tolerant break. Then why you? So I got a job. I got a job at the dispensary. I got a job at the dispensary because it has it has benefits. It's only like 20 to 25 hours a week. It's a pretty decent, hourly pay. And also, I mean, if I'm going to be there, I might as well get a discount. If I'm still going to do it, I might as well get it cheaper. Okay. My mom was just like, aren't you trying to like take a break? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, should you be working at the dispensary? I said, yeah, because yeah. And that was it. And she just said, okay. And I'm like, not me getting a discount. And it's going to be higher quality. I don't know. I just feel like it's a win for me. Okay. And it also is going to show that just because I'm working there doesn't mean I have to do it all the time. Okay. So I can it's going to show me I need balance and all the things. But anyway, I just wanted to do a job. It was mostly not about that. It was mostly about if I'm going to have to be at a job, if I'm going to have to go back into the matrix for a little bit, I'm going to do something that I at least like. I love talking to people. I love medicinal. I believe in the holistic properties and the medicinal properties of it. And it's like I said, it's not an hourly wage that I could just live completely on, but I feel like it's really good for part-time and just the benefits and just for a little bit to get on my feet. And so I told myself every check that I get, I'm going to save them up. I'm not spending shit. Every check is going to that credit card. Every check is going to some debt. This job is not for me. This job is not for extra money. This job is to get out of debt. So when I tell you, when that direct deposit hits my account, I don't care if the credit card bill's not due, bitch. Go to the credit card. Get the fuck out. Go to that bit. As soon as it comes in, to the credit card. Comes in, to the credit card. I'm not playing. I'm tired. Okay? And I got to get out of this. And so I had to get real. I had to go through the depression. I had to go through all the disappointment. How could I let myself get this? Why did I keep swiping? I'm overwhelmed. I had to go through it. And now I got to pull myself the fuck out. And I have to sacrifice. No. Do I want to give my time to a corporation? Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to. Look what I just told you guys. But there's a means to an end. I have a plan. This is not me just out here frivolous like, I don't know. I have a whole business. I just need to catch up. So yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to use the system and I'm going to use that to my advantage and get what I need to do, while also being in a place that I think I could actually prosper and have really beautiful connections. I want to be in customer service because I feel like people need to have more quality, beautiful experiences, because there's a lot of people that think everybody's bad and this and that. So I'm actually excited to provide really beautiful experiences for people because I love it. And I'm so emotionally intelligent that I can use that to my advantage. And you guys, this was the most confident I've ever been in any interview in my life. I have grown so much and I am so much more confident in myself. When they were asking me these questions, I was like, next, tell me the next one, give it to me. And they were just like, gosh, I love your responses. I'm like, yo, I know people. People are my thing. I know people. So any job in customer service, I'm going to be fucking amazing at it because I know people and I'm also regulated and I'm also aware and I'm also empathetic, but I also have boundaries. So every question, they're like, tell me if a customer comes in and they're escalated and they're upset, what would you do? Oh my God, my answers, they were just like, gosh. I'm like, yo, I know. And it felt so good to be in an interview and be like, yes, the fuck, I should be in here. I am confident. I am great. I am an asset. Okay. You guys are missing out. And they called me the next day. They hired me 24 hours later. Okay? The confidence, the shift. I'm still the same Kristen, but I just know who I am. I'm still the same Kristen, but I'm confident in my abilities. I'm still the same Kristen, but I love who I am, and that love and that it exudes. It exudes. People can't unsee it. They can't unfeel it. I knew I got the job before I left, and it's not cocky. It's just like, why wouldn't you listen to this? This is my thing. Now, if it was a computer, something, build a macro, something with like processes and building spreadsheets, nah, bitch, I would have been nervous because I knew I would have been lying about that shit. I don't care about this. Well, why do you think you'd be great for making these spreadsheets? I don't. I just need the money, and this is why I'm nervous, because I'm having to be fake. But with this job, why do you think that you'd be an asset for something with customer service? Because I love people and I love having opportunities to teach. I already know so many people are going to be coming to my door, and you know the vibe of the people who are already at dispensaries in the first place are usually more open-minded, free thinker people anyway. And so I already know that I'm going to be having some amazing ass conversations, and you know how I am. I'm just going to be who I am. And I already know someone's going to say, oh my God, we are having this huge conference. I think you'd be a great public speaker. Well, that's exactly why I got this job, because I knew that I needed to be more in alignment with people, and at the house, I wasn't going to be able to meet you, and this is exactly why I have this job. Yes, when do I start? It's $10,000. I'll see you next week. Oh, I'm so excited. There's a plan, baby. I know why I'm doing this. I got to be in the position to be seen more, which means I may have to do some things that, I don't know, I've been working for myself. No, I got to be in a position. I need to be in my community. And so there's just so many reasons why I've been guided to get this job. And it's not just for the money. It's not just for the money. It's for so many other reasons. Watch. Like in a few months, I'm gonna be like, you guys, I met the head of this company and they want me to do this, and they have 4 million followers, and this is going to get my book out. And now the book is a New York Times bestseller with the typos in it and everything. I got a New York Times bestseller with typos, but maybe I'll be the first person that has a New York Times bestseller with typos. Who knows? I'll be it. I love it. It's just showing people that you don't have to be perfect. I love it. I watch. Woo! I'm about to have the New York Times bestseller with the first one with typos. Leo, instead lean into the shit. Because that's the kind of thing, like, you see, like, for me, I should be mortified, the typos. But then when it happens, then now all of a sudden, people around the world are like, oh my God, and do you know that she was the first best New York bestseller with typos? And now, instead of it being an insecurity, now it's an inspiration. You see? Now, instead of being a mistake, now it's something that liberates other people, that I too can make mistakes and still win. I too can make mistakes and still be successful. I too can make mistakes and people can still convey what I'm saying, and I can still get back up, and I can still, you see? Now it turns into something that I should be so ashamed about to now something that liberates. It's all perspective. It's all perspective. It's what you want it to be, what you think it is. Play the game. Play the game. Play the game. It's fun. I like reprogramming my mind now. I like giving myself subliminal messages around the house of things that I want to feel and see how it works. Oh yeah, I remember when I put that subliminal message up like 2 years ago on my mirror, and now literally that's how I fucking think. Oh, I remember I said I get paid to exist, and now literally I'm in a job where I'm getting paid to exist. Oh, I remember when I said I'm going to get paid to speak, and now I literally get paid to speak. Wow, I guess the subliminals really did work. Okay. So the first two cards that came out was competition and creativity. The first two cards that came out was competition and creativity. And these, I understand right away. It's because there is no competition to your creativity, because your creativity should be stemmed from your authenticity. The only time that we're competing creatively is when we are not being authentic, because how can someone compete with your authenticity and the shoes that you've walked and the experiences that you have? The only time when your creativity becomes competitive is when you're trying to have some type of external validation, or you're not creating from a place of truth, but what's trendy. This is why you can tell you're just doing something that's trendy and not what's true to you. And maybe what's true to you starts the trend. Isn't that beautiful? Maybe you start the trend by being true to yourself. That's how trends usually start, by someone who's just brave enough to wear jeans with holes in them and wear a shirt that has some grease, and then someone decided to call it fashion. And now we spend $1,000 with jeans with holes in them, and we spend $500 on a shirt with grease. because someone was brave enough to see it. And now we just changed the perspective. Oh my God, I love the worn look. It just looks like you're not trying so hard, but you are. Babe, then go out and go down, don't wash your clothes for a couple days, and then you get it. You don't got to pay $500 for that, but because someone was brave enough to not give a damn, someone capitalized on that, and now you're out there buying ripped jeans when you used to think it was stupid because now it's trendy. You see, you didn't like it until it was popular. That's the same with how you are with yourself. It's not cool unless everybody gets on board. No, it's cool because you're the only one. It's cool because it's your perspective. It's cool because it's the way that you see the world through your eyes, and no one can see the world through your eyes because there's not one single person who has definitely walked exactly in your shoes, maybe close to it, but not exactly. And the way that you interpret things is based on your culture. It's based on your ethnicity. It's based on your race. It's based on your gender. It's based on where you live in the world. It's based on the language you speak. It's based on so many things, your perspective. I do have a podcast. It's on my website. Everything is on my website. And I'm actually starting the new season today. Season 3 is coming back today. Season 3 is coming back today. Thank you for reminding me that. I forgot to talk about that. I got a podcast too. I did everything. Everything I wanted to do, I'm doing it. New season coming back. I've been literally 2 years trying to get this new season out, and now it's time. My spirit guides are like, you don't got nothing to talk about right now. It's going to be talking in circles, and you know it. You need to give yourself time to process so you actually have something to articulate to your audience. So stop trying to rush it and focus on other mediums. And this is why I love that I have all these other things, because when I'm not doing the podcast, then I'm working more on music. If I'm not doing the music, then maybe I'm working more on my book. If I'm not doing a book, then maybe I'm working more on my content. If I'm not doing my content, I'm focusing on my gifts and diving into my psychic abilities. So when I don't limit myself by saying that I work at the bank, what the fuck? That's just what I do. I'm so much more than that. And working at the bank was limiting me from all this other shit. Working at the bank for 40 hours was limiting me from figuring out all this other things. And I love it. I love your talk today. I can't wait to listen. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys. Hi, Cynthia. What's up, girl? So the competition is in your head. There's only one of you, and there is no competition. And there's going to be certain things and similar ideas and thoughts that you have, but the way that you articulate them is what makes you different. Okay? Like, I was literally crying yesterday, and today is different. I know, one day to the next, everything all at once. I can be depressed and happy. I can feel sad and empowered. I can feel, I can be devastated, but also relieved. There's so many things. Don't box yourself in. All these arbitrary rules that we're so used to living by is what's making us feel so limited. We're limiting ourselves. Like, perfect example. When I first wrote my book, I told myself, I don't really feel like I'm resonating with writing all these words. I just feel like I want my book to just be these thoughts. And then I was like, but no one's going to take me seriously. Authors all have books with tons of words on them. And then it woke up and I said, I'm an author. And just because I want to have one thought on a page doesn't make me any less than an author. This is the way that I want to do it. This is the way that I enjoy reading. So why am I limiting myself to say that only people who are authors have all these words on a page? That's not fucking true. People literally publish word decks, card decks. What are you talking about? You're limiting yourself because you think it has to look a certain way. But actually, I really love that this is like a Cliff Notes. I love that there is no explanation. I love that you can read it, and the way that you interpret it is the way that you interpret it. That is how art is. That's what art is. It's subjective. And so some people are not ready to read the truth. So they're going to read this and they're going to say, nah, this is not me. But then a year later, they may read the same page and be like, wow, that is so me. It's all perspective. It's all timing. It's what you're ready to integrate. It's what you're ready to understand about yourself. Okay? So, yeah, like, you're capable of so much more. And that's what frustrates you, because you know that. You know that you're capable of so much more, and you know that you're wasting time, and that's what makes you upset, is when you are getting older. Not that age matters, but in your mind it does. And so when you see these 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds out here playing the thing and doing the stuff, and you're like, oh my God, I started doing that. It just puts you in this cycle of like, God, I should have started when I was 16. Get the fuck out of that. You're not 16. You still have these desires. You're breathing, you're living. It's not too late. You needed the lessons. You needed the lessons that you went through to get to this point. You weren't aware of the things that you're aware of now to put you in this mindset. Everything happened for a reason. Stop dwelling on the past and move the fuck forward. Deal with the shit. Seriously. Like, this story is getting tired. It's tired, and it's making you dull. It's making you dull because there's so much more to you than you being defined by your pain. Feel it, talk about it, express it, and move forward. There's so much beauty in life. There's so many things waiting for you, and your story is going to heal so many people. Your story is going to liberate so many people, and you're going to create art from the story. The depth comes from your pain, but you keep running from it, which is exactly what you keep trying to find. Your purpose. Your purpose is in the pain. Why did you go through that? If everything happens for a reason, what was the reason that you went through this childhood? If everything happens for a reason and you believe that, then what was the reason that you went through that? Just to suffer? Just to suffer? That's why you went through it? Just to suffer? Thank you. I got it from a place that I can't mention no more because I'm boycotting them. Sorry. But I like it too. But unfortunately, they don't know how to act. So, sorry. And they don't have it no more anyway. Even if I told you couldn't get it now. So don't worry. You ain't missing out on nothing. I'm sorry. I got that. Okay. So Bullseye Boutique, but don't go there. Bullseye Boutique, but you're not going there. I don't even use the name anymore. So yeah, you are too. Yep. Thank you. Ooh, I love that answer. You the people ooh, God, that just gave me a visceral response. Oh, if you're boycotting, I probably am too. Thank you so much. Ooh, God, that just made me feel, yes, we're on the same, that's the energy. I needed that. You don't know that just like did something to me, that you just said that. Dublin, I love Dublin. I've been to Dublin. Sir, thank you. Thank you. I needed that. Ooh, God, that was like so attractive to me. I don't know why. Not even that anything, not even like in that way. I just love it. God, because it just shows you're on that business. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength, bitch. I love that. I don't know why. Okay. So, I'm from Hungary. I went to Hungary. I went to Budapest and I loved it. I didn't get to do as much. Okay, I've been to, why is all these places that I've been? Okay, is it telling me I need to go back or something? Why are all these places? I love you too. Okay, I went to Budapest and I need to go back because the food was so delicious, but I didn't get to try as much and we were just trying to do too much. But I've been to Budapest and I really loved it. And I felt really at home there in Europe because I saw more people that looked like me and it was beautiful. But yes, I've been to Dublin and I loved it. I loved it. It was so beautiful, the green and the history. And I went and saw the Blarney Stone, but I'm not kissing that because, well, I did, but I'm not doing that again. I'm not kissing that Blarney Stone because afterwards I said, look how many people kiss this thing. Damn. But I went to the Blarney Stone and I saw where Game of Thrones was filmed, the pilot. I think it was, I don't know if it was in Scotland or Ireland or Iceland. I've been to all the lands. I like the lands over there. I like the lands. I like Iceland. I like England. I like Ireland. I like Scotland. I like Iceland. I like Finland. I like all land. I like the lands. Okay? So I've been to a lot of the lands over there. So funny. You literally just explained 21. Really? What is 21? I did. I knew that was part of it. Yeah. Leo, you know the book. Leo, not you knowing the book. Leo, not you telling me that I quoted a page from my book because you know the book. I love that. Y'all really fuck with my art. You guys don't know how it feels that you guys really know my art and stuff. Like that, what? I just never thought that people would be having my book and just know the pages and just know stuff. And then you guys tell me, oh my God, when you guys told me that I was on your top wrap up, like some of my music, oh my God, you were one of my top 5 artists. I still haven't processed that. I want you guys to know that. Some of you that reached out to me and said that I was your top artist of the year, I still have not processed that. It still doesn't like, I just don't see it like, oh, this is this. I just see it like I'm just doing what I love and I'm just doing it. And people like it maybe, but it doesn't resonate with me that people really do choose my song to listen to. Or people really do share my book and like they love it and they love it enough to recommend it to people. Like it just, I don't know. I'm really out of sight, out of mind when it comes to my numbers and my data. And maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing. And maybe it's something I do because I don't want to see the truth or what, or maybe I don't care. But I'm not sitting up here looking at how many books I sold. I don't know. I'm not saying it's good or bad. This is why I can't wait to have an analytics team and people, because I really don't care. If you asked me how many books I sold, I couldn't tell you. If you asked me how many people stream in Europe, I couldn't tell you. I have all the data. If you told me, I don't care. I don't know. I just don't care. I'm just creating. And so I guess when I see you guys saying, oh my God, I love it, and this, I guess like the data would show me that, but I just don't look at the data. And then when you guys say, I got it in here and I'm watching from Europe, I'm watching from here, I'm just like, I'm really reaching people all over the world. I want to go to Turkey. That's on my list. It's been on my list for a while. I want Turkish delight because every time that bednam, I want the Turkish delight from Turkey. I don't want it from here. And I want Turkish delight because that movie made me want it in the closet with Narnia. I want Turkish delight bit. And I want hot air balloons, and I want to learn the culture, and I want to eat the food, and I want to dance, and I want to do it. And I love the culture, and it's so beautiful. So I can't wait to get over there. I'm going for sure. You're happy to be here. Oh, I love that, Nova. You guys, I love it. Thank you. You guys' words, my love language is words of affirmation. So I really appreciate you guys saying these things. And it's really beautiful to see how you guys see me. So thank you for being so vocal, because I don't know if people are seeing how I feel about myself. I don't know that all the time, if people are experiencing me how I experience myself, because you guys are experiencing me totally different than I experience myself. Okay. Oh, okay. I got to read number 11. Number 11. Okay. Page 11. You felt so undeserving of a safe, healthy love that you convinced yourself you weren't attracted to it. Let me read that again. You felt so undeserving of a safe, healthy love that you convinced yourself you weren't attracted to it. And this is where you say, oh, they're too nice, or they just call too much, or they just always do this, and they just always do that. No, it's because you're rejecting safety and healthy and consistency because you're not used to it. And so someone does do the most, you don't trust it. You're taught to question it, and you're looking for deception all the time. And so when someone doesn't make you work for it, when someone doesn't make you jump through hoops, you don't trust it. You're more comfortable jumping through hoops. You're more comfortable with someone playing games. So when someone shows up, you either think that they're too much, and then you start becoming more avoidant. Have you noticed that? When you have somebody who's really on you, for all of a sudden you're not anxious anymore. You're more avoidant when someone's really about it. Yeah, let's go. I want you. Yeah, let's go. I want it. Oh, some of you get really scared, and you used to be anxious when you used to chase people. Then when you have someone that's like, I want you. Yeah, it scares you. Oh, wow, I've just never had somebody be so sure. Are you sure? Yeah, I want you. I don't know. I just feel like it's just too quick. Like, I don't understand, like, why are you so sure and shit? Like, you don't even know me. I just feel like you're traumatized. No, I want you. No, I'm not. Like, I see all of you, and I know that you're not perfect, and I want you. No, you're just too much. Like, you're so fucking intense. Like, I just... You felt so undeserving of a safe and healthy love that you convinced yourself that you weren't attracted to it. You'd rather jump through hoops. It's more comfortable for you to earn love than to be given it freely. You think that there's some catch. Okay. I know. We got to reprogram, baby. We got to reprogram. See, look, then this is what I mean. And I'm going to use you as an example, Farrell. Cole, I'm going to use an example. I'm not picking on you. Because I've had to work hard for everything and nothing ever came easy, but I know better now. Okay, so you know better now. You just told me why you do the things you do. So Cole, I'm expecting you to integrate that. Not be perfect in it, Cole, but I'm expecting you to be able to integrate. Since you just told me that you know why you do this, then that means that you can change. So the next time that you go to do that and your gut reaction is, let me buy them this, let me do this. I don't know if they're liking me. Maybe I should buy, nope. Who I am is enough. I do not have to buy love. I can't buy love. And the times that I tried to buy love, I ended up resenting myself and feeling burned because I did the most before actually getting to know if they deserve this part of me. There's layers to my love, Cole. There's layers to your love. And not everybody deserves that part of you that is just open and everything. You have to see if someone's worth it, because I'm not sitting here doing this and then you can't reciprocate. I'm not sitting here doing this and you don't care. Okay? All right? So you have to get real on that. And you have to know that you don't have to prove nothing. And that also parts of you need to be earned through consistency, safety, honesty, reciprocity. Your love is not unconditional. You do have conditions in the way that you need to be loved. You do. And that's okay. So I love that. Oh, my butt cheek hurts. All right, you guys. I'm trying to stay on here to 10:30, but my butt cheek has a cramp because of the way I'm shitting like this. I need to stand up and move around. I can't take it no more. I know you see me doing this. I'm just doing it. The piriformis. My piriformis. I need to get a lacrosse ball, and I need to get deep in the piriformis because my glutes are very tight because of this whole injury. And wow, I have a new humble and respect for people who have to come back from injuries and the what it does on your body. Golly, like the strain that it puts on your body and how your body has to overcompensate for injuries is no joke. I've never been injured like this in my life. And so just the overcompensation and the way that you build these imbalances. Look at me. We're close. I'm massaging my booty cheek in front of y'all. That's how close we are. Look, I'm not gonna sit up here in pain no more. I'm just gonna do it. I got it from one of my best friends got it for me from, I think she got it from Earthbound. Earthbound. I love that store. It's where I get a lot of my stuff, a lot of my jewelry. This is from Earthbound too. My niece got me this from Earthbound, and then this tapestry is from Earthbound. Let me massage. I'm grateful I logged into this live. It's been very rewarding. Thank you. I love you guys. I really appreciate y'all. All right. I really appreciate y'all. But yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. I think 10 o'clock is good. I think 10 o'clock is when my stuff starts dying and my phone starts dying. I think 6:45 to 10 is a good time. And then the rest of the day, since I'm making my own day and I'm making my own structure, I want to work in the morning, 4 hours with you guys. This is work. I'm clocked in. Then I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to make my food and take care of myself, nourish my body, go to do some yoga. Then the second half of the day is reserved for client calls, my coaching calls, and making my content. So you see, the first half I give back to you guys and give back. And then the second half, I use my creative abilities and do that. And that's what feels good. And I realize as a neurodivergent, I need that. I need that in any job that I do, even the job that I love. I can't do this. If this is what I did, if you told me I had to do this, go live 8 hours a day, even though I love it, there's no way. I have to break it up. I am so interested in so many other things and all this stuff, and I get bored really quickly and I get hyperfixated really quickly. And so I'm just learning to go with my brain and just accept my neurodivergence and no, don't get too attached to this because it may be fleeting, or I'm going to be attached to this for 5 years and I'm going to eat the same thing every day. And then one day I just get tired of it. All my safe foods, all my safe foods that I can eat. I'm a creature of habit. I'm the neurodivergent that can eat the same meal every single day because I know that I like it, and I get pissed when I try to branch out. People say, branch out, branch out. You always get the same shit. And then I get there and that shit don't look right, and now I just spent $20. I didn't like it. Stop telling me to do stuff. I know myself and I should have listened to myself. It don't look good. I know I don't like it. I don't want to branch out. There's some things that I don't feel like I'm missing out when it comes to food. Okay? I have texture issues. Okay? So stop trying to tell me I'm missing out on something. That shit look nasty as fuck. I don't care. It looks nasty. Okay? I can't get past the part of how it looks. All right? I definitely can't put something in my mouth that looks like that. I don't care how good you tell me it is. Looks can be deceiving, and I might be deceived because we don't got the same taste buds. So what's good to me what's good to you may make me throw up. We're not the same. Okay? It's subjective, baby. All right, and I just want to get what I want, bitch, because this shit is too expensive anyway to be getting out. It's too expensive to be branching out right now. All right, it's too expensive to be branching out right now. It's too expensive to be branching out right now. It's too expensive to be branching out right now. To be branching out right now. I'm buying what I need, what I want, what I like, okay? Because I'm hurt when I spend that $30 and I don't like it. Now I see $30 is different now. Okay, $30 means something to me. I'm in a humble state. $30 is a lot for me. Okay, so I'm gonna get what I want, get what I need, and I'm not gonna let you choose for me. Okay. People always want me to branch out with shit. I don't like these things. Damn. Okay, I don't like cheese, and I'm never gonna like it. It tastes nasty. I don't like cheese in that way. There's certain things I like, but I don't like mushrooms. I've never tried a mushroom, but I know I don't like it by the way that it looks. And I know that that's crazy, but it looks nasty. And I don't like it because of how it looks. I never tried it, but I don't like it. The texture makes me want to throw up. I've tried. I can't do it. All right? I love you. Be yourself. Let people accept certain parts of you, okay? You're not too hard to love. You just are asking the wrong people. You're trying to force people. You are easy to love, I promise you. Flaws and all, you're easy to love. The right person is going to choose all of you, and that right person is you. You need to choose all of you because you're not going nowhere. I don't care how much you dissociate from your past. It's still showing up right now. I don't care how much you don't talk about your insecurities. We can see them in the people that you date. I don't care how you pretend to be happy in your job. We can tell by the way that you talk shit all the time about your job. Stop playing, okay? Just accept where you're at. Accept where you're at, even if it doesn't feel good. Accept it. It's not supposed to feel good all the time. Accept it, and you will be much happier, I promise. This is who you are. You are who you are. There's certain things that you can change. There's certain things I can change, but I'm always going to be a Black woman. There's certain things I can change. I can be in denial and say that I'm not, but I'm always going to be a Black woman. I got to learn to love that. There's no amount of straight hair and blue contacts that will change the fact that I'm a Black woman. I have to learn to accept that. And I have. And I wouldn't change it. And every single lifetime I want to come back as a Black woman. Every time. Okay? I'll take the adversities and I'll take the trials and the tribulations because the spirit of this Black woman, unmatched. Love it. Okay? All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. 6:30, 6:45. Okay? All right. All right, y'all.